You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, told you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, told you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. Okay, it's never enough. Okay, it's never enough. Life can get so mad and life can get so tough. They can't handle nothing, that's why I do this stuff. That's why I wrote this stuff, that's how we hold it down, it's love. Hit Istanbul like 3-4, when I call me that's plus 44. You know me, you know the score, you know what the hell we do this for. They wanna sleep in the name like Moldavore, I'm around but they wanna call me to go. I know what they're saying but really though, this flame just burning in my soul. Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able? Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able? You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, told you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, told you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. Got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. Stumble like 3-4, when I call me that's plus 44. You know me, you know the score, you know what the hell we do this for. They wanna sleep in the name like Moldavore, I'm around but they wanna call me to go. I know what they're saying but really though, this flame just burning in my soul. Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able? Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able? Yeah. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, told you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, told you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. Got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise.
I didn't calibrate that properly. Hi everyone! As always, last minute, trying to make shit work. It wouldn't be a Septic Sauce show without the tech issues, and Fonzarelli's trying to fix his camera, you piece of shit! But we have an excellent show for you today! I've had a coffee after 1 week. Last time I had coffee was on this show last week, and
that's right.
And I am absolutely, I'm buzzing, bro. It's like someone's giving me crack. I'm buzzing.
Damn.
I'm buzzing, bro. I'm buzzing. Let's see here. Sorry, let me build up chat. Chat every week. It's on the wire.
Is that good?
Yes! We can see him! We can see him! Look at that!
Finally see.
Oh shit, I didn't even get the freaking proportions right, but fuck you, we'll sort it out. There we go. And make it a little bit longer. Yeah, there we go. Professional setup here, bruv. Look at Fonz already looking sexual. Sexual seduction. Look at you awkwardly like zoomed into your face. How you doing, man? You good?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Doing real good. Thank you for asking.
Oh, man, I'm glad you're here.
Looking sexual.
Oh shit, let me get my shit sorted. What's up, everybody in the chat? Let me smash the like button as we get into the things. Let me call out the peeps that are here already. Game Adaptation News Cost was the first one here. Good to see you, man. Captain Chat. Good to see you, BSG Gamer. Lutrons. And we've got A-Down. We got Sir Sniffs a lot. I think I've read that wrong, but it's okay. I think it sounds better that way. Jeremy Lazenzi. We've got Paul. We've got so many. Oh, so much shit. I can't even read it. What the hell is up with my chat? Illegal Dad? Illegal Dad? That sounds weird. Illegal Dad. Yes, Illegal Dad. And people, and Mingo, and Flingos. Let's go straight into it. I'm flustered, ready to make some memes. And I'll be... Why am I so short? Why am I like all the way down here? Damn it!
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, my camera's just placed up differently, and that's better. Now it's starting to look like a pro setup. Fonzarelli Gaming, how are you, sir? What's going on?
Doing good. People say I'm a little low. I'm going to check the the levels.
There you go. You should be fine now. You should be fine. I was playing some games.
Oh, okay.
And then
playing some memes.
I was playing some Marathon, which is interesting.
Dude.
We'll have to talk about that in a bit. Well, now.
For sure.
Tell me, man, what have you been up to?
I've been doing a lot of just recently, I got a new cinema camera and I've been messing with that.
Jealous of that camera. That's
acquiring
sick.
Stuff with that. Like it's been bad weather, so I haven't been able to go out and shoot yet, and I'm just like so upset. But I've been shooting stuff around the house and stuff, learning how to color grade and that stuff, and it's been a lot of fun. It's a nice little hobby, for sure.
Bro, it's a deep one,
I can
isn't
turn
it?
into making some money.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, bro, it's one of those hobbies where the more time you invest, and it's a time thing, you can spend your whole life doing it.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's a learning curve, like all the way through. Like I've talked to people that have done videography for 20 plus years and they're still learning.
Yeah.
So,
well, bro,
it's just,
at the end of the day, listen.
Yeah.
It's just, it's the art. It's an art form. Like the more you sink into it, the more enjoyment you'll get out of it. So, it's going to be wicked. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do with the camera. In fact, some of your earlier stuff I've seen is of you. Camera on camera stuff. I think it's perfect fit for, and I just hope your lazy ass will do something with content with all those camera skills. Fonz, I've been begging you for the last past of 3 years to make content. Is that not right?
Yeah, no, you have, and I should. But you ever get hyper focused on like a hobby, and you start getting into it so much that everything else just takes a back seat, and that's kind of how it's been lately with this whole videography thing. So, but I will be incorporating some of that. Like once I start really getting decent at it, I'm going to start incorporating some of that within my gaming channel, and also possibly making a separate channel where I have like more outdoor things that I do. So
nice, man.
Touch grass, if you will. Guys, touching grass.
It's overrated, isn't it? PlayStation guys know about that. About it being overrated, not about touching grass. Good to see you. Oh, we already got some memes. First of all, we got Lutrons dropping freaking 10 memberships, man. Shout out to Lutrons, you boss. Jeremy, Replicant, Sir Sifsalot, Erax, Just James, YJT, Another Films, Andres Figuera,
nice,
Matrix, and Everborn, you lurking piece of shit. I love that the gifted memberships reveal who's lurking in the back. Everborn, you little sneaky little bastard. Where have you been, huh? Good to see you in the chat. And shout out
to Everborn.
Yeah, shout out to him. Great guy, man. And Champagne Supernavigator, sub gents. Jeff won't say Xbox console. Helix might be the only device that will play GTA 6 and Half-Life 3 natively. Let's talk about it. Sauce. Ooh, this there's a lot to unpack here. There's been massive debates in the background of this whole thing. Finally, the uncertainty of Xbox being removed about its commitment in the hardware space. We've had this week Jason Schreier go ahead and reveal basically what has gone unchallenged, and that's a big deal. Before we do all of that, these are big, chunky, meaty topics with a lot of facets to them. Yeah, let's talk about one thing. Let's get out of the way. Yeah, Marathon. Let's talk about Marathon. I played the Server Slam, Super Slam, Summer Slam, whatever I call it, Server Slam.
The Summer Slam, yeah. WWE is back. Right?
Yeah, Super Slam. I love that's one.
Summer Slam.
That's one of the best pranks ever played. Okay. One of the best pranks we've seen ever. It's one of those classic pranks. If you haven't seen the John Cena Super Slam prank, then you've been living in a cave. But speaking of Super Slams, Marathon had a Server Slam, had topped out 138,000 players or something like that. Marathon finally came out on Thursday, and last week I talked about it and I said how disappointed I was, and the primary reasons one of them still maintains the art style, the graphics of it on all that, compared to the visual styles, the CGI cutscenes and the promotional stuff that they've been showing, which is completely different, also very beautiful. But then I said, not enough PvP encounters, not enough, just hardly anything happening, hardly anyone communicating in the game. And then I played the game, not expecting anything different. And I was like, okay, I bloody paid for it. I've got this freaking limited edition thing. Well, let's just go ahead and play it. Not expecting anything major, like maybe a little hotfix here and there, maybe some updates. And Forza Rally Gaming. The game is so different. And I know everyone... For some reason, everyone's like, guys, you've been paid to promote this. You're a piece of shit. I was going to say something else. Terrible. You're a piece of shit. That Bungie's paid you to promote this. It's a lie. Blah blah blah. What the fuck? Do you think a company's gonna pay me to promote the game? If that ever happened, I'll tell you. And shout out to that company has the balls to promote me of all people. You saw what happened with me joining Insider Gaming, bruv. You thought a member of freaking ISIS or someone had joined them. It's crazy. But Marathon's a really good game. Marathon's a really fun game, Fonz. I know it's not for you. I know the cartoony visuals and stuff is not for you. And but this game, Marathon, is actually pulled me away from Arc Raiders, because Arc Raiders and the developers and Buck seem to really ovulate when you talk about PvP nowadays. Now they're like, oh, it's just like, oh, I just don't like doing that. No, we never really meant to be a PvP game. It was a bit of a PvP. And the updates are now revealing, like, you don't get any points to, like, doing PvP, you know, like those BP points. And it's just like, right, so you're basically kind of...
You could still rat and murk. You can
still rat and murk it, but spiritually it's not there. With Marathon, it's unashamedly a PvP game. In fact, there's no encounter ever where someone has said, I'm friendly. In fact, some of the clips you'll see on social media, like, people are coming and going, hey, I'm friendly. They're like, people are just shooting. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is not Arc Raiders. Bam! And I love that.
Let me ask you something though. Is there a solo mode, or is it 2v2, 3v3? What is it?
So you've got a solo mode. You can play. You can always go in solo.
Okay.
You can also do this really good thing where you can basically be a rook, which you just joined solo into a match with that, which might have 3v3s, three-man teams or everything, but you're just, it's like the equivalent of a free loadout on Arc Raiders, but the game has started mid-game, so you don't know at what point you're leaving, and you're basically there collecting scraps as, you know, whole teams have maneuvered through a game from the beginning. However, even as a rook, the way the gameplay works and the way the time to kill is in this game, even a lone rook can be very disruptive. I've seen clips of like a lone rook murk three-man teams. Shout out to Pork Poncho. But yeah, doing that kind of stuff. And I was just like, yo. Problem for me was when the Marathon freaking Server Slam, and I streamed it for 5 hours. No one could say shit to me. I didn't even look at Twitter. I had this whole thing, and I was like, I am so disappointed. And you could see me just dying, listening out for PvP encounters, then running towards them, and nothing happened. And then from that feedback, Bungie had immediately upped the player numbers for Perimeter, which is one of the main introduction beginner maps. And then I've now experienced the game in its final form where almost everyone communicates. Now it's like 60-70% chance that randoms are communicating. I posted up a clip of me playing online, completely randoms, by the way, and they're just communicating so well and proper excited. And there's tension now because guess what? Like, people are communicating and there's multiple squads fighting all the time. And now you're keeping an eye out and I should say ear out for what's happening in the game. And bro, so much console. I get it. I'm a console war piece of shit. I love the console wars, this and that. But I want to play a good game, Fonz, and I really am enjoying it.
No, I know you do. But how? Okay, so how does it compare to Arc for you? Are you missing Arc at all? Or are you just like, nah, I like this better?
So okay, Arc Raiders is a work of art. It is a work of art that achieves so many different things, from incredible visuals that blew me away, especially on my PC. I would turn the HUD off, or press F10 and just hide the UI. Beautiful game, incredible sound design, a world that feels real, like, and it's the first kind of social hub in a game. If you come to the end of this gen and ask me what is one of your games of this gen, Arc Raiders will probably come up, maybe at the top. Well, I reckon GTA 6 will be, but then Arc Raiders will be there because of what it meant, how it made me feel about gaming, man. Like, I've not had that kind of experience since maybe PUBG or, you know, like that. Like, it was so much virality, so much so that the way I played the game pissed people off so much that they cried so hard for days, and to talk about the ethics of the game and this and that. So so comparing to Arc Raiders is almost unfair, because ultimately it won't compare. However, I will say this, Fonz. Marathon, it has its own perfectly little earned, deserved place in the looter shooter, extraction shooter genre. Like, it is it scratches the PvP
you have
itch.
that perception, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I'm looking at the Steam charts now, and it's been going down every day. I mean, it's a Saturday here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And you would think that, there'd be more players. There's actually less than there was yesterday.
Yeah.
You've got 74,000 players playing right now, which is nothing to sneeze at. It's not like, oh my God, that's horrible numbers. It's going to die. This is the next Highguard.
Yeah.
However, that sustainability, especially long term, if they continue to dwindle their numbers this way, I don't know how long we're going to see this game surviving. Because if I bounce over to Arc Raiders, right now they're at 226,000 concurrent players.
Yeah.
That's a big difference there for the same type of game. And this tells me one thing for sure, it's not pulling Arc Raider fans away from Arc.
Interesting.
I don't know what it's going to take for Marathon to kind of fit in this space and have sustainability and, have those legs long term. That's one of the things that I question because and here's the thing, Bungie has a great pedigree with shooters and especially gunplay. Their gunplay is honestly some of the best in the business, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's really good in Marathon as well. And that's probably one of the reasons why people are liking it. However, what does it seem like there is an opening there for the game to add even more content to give it more legs? I don't know. I haven't played it myself.
Questions. Very good questions. As I tried to sort this UI out, these are very good questions. You're very right about the player numbers, and I said this last week. I said, don't be surprised if the SummerSlam numbers are way higher than what the actual final game will be, because it topped out at 80k, and now it's at 30. It hovers around 30 to 40k, which is a bit nerve-wracking for me because I don't want this game to fail. And I don't think those are particularly strong numbers, I'll be honest with you. And I feel like this. I feel like if the game had launched, if the server slam, had been in the state that the final game is in, I think it would have stronger numbers now. It would have a better impression now. I do think the server slam actually kind of soured a lot of people's expectations.
It killed momentum for sure.
Yeah, I think it doesn't show the game in its best light, and I think that's criminal. When you should be enticing players into. I think I've sorted the UI out, which will be fucked up next week, but safe. So
it happens, bro.
Oh my god, all the time for me.
That's why I'm using that high quality StreamYard.
So you need to get off StreamYard.
High quality.
Come on, man! Look at the lighting. Look at the camera. You've got a freaking FX30. You got look at bokeh there. You got blurred little where the freaking mic stand is, and you've got all this composition and lighting, and it gets wasted because Highguard, that cheap piece of he's not even cheap. He's a freaking millionaire. Won't even spend time. Highguard, where are you? Fricks your shit. You just start putting that weird green screen. Looks like ass.
No,
it looks like ass.
No, it's
he's dragging it. He's dragging it down.
StreamYard, it's easy to manage. You don't run into all these problems where you're like, oh my God, my UI is messed up. And especially when you have people join mid-show, it gets all out of whack. You know how it is with Discord and
I know.
OBS. So
it's a lot to manage, but I think that the fidelity is really important, and I'm just terribly disorganized, so that's why it doesn't look as nice consistently. If I just spent an evening fixing this, it would be nice. But bro, once your StreamYard runs out, just invest in OBS. Just saying it's too nice. But look, back on topic. OBS, Marathon is going to have an uphill struggle. Now you've talked about what they need to do to kind of up those numbers up. Well, what's happened today or yesterday? Basically, Bungie have advised all reviewers, which is this is taking the piss. They've basically said, hey, hold off on doing the reviews just yet, because the real Marathon, the true essence of Marathon will be revealing itself at the end of March, when they reveal basically those Destiny style raid levels in that in a map, and they'll also have ranked mode. I'm like, bro, you don't get to fucking release a game and then and tell people, hold off, the final product will be coming out in 2-3 weeks. Please don't review it yet. So if anyone goes, oh well, actually, you reviewed this game and you gave it this score, and then later on the real content was coming and it's not a true review, I'm like, you piece of shit! You should be telling freaking Bungie release the game in full state before demanding that I have to wait for 3 weeks to review the game. By that, which point, God knows how many players are even playing it. It's stupid.
Therein lies the problem with today's games, right?
Yeah,
they're often released not ready. They are simply not 100% done.
Yeah, man.
And this is the case for even a lot of single player games.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that now, and it's we've seen it for the last few years, actually. This whole generation, it seems like we get a bunch of games that come out that just aren't ready. But hey, here it is now. You know, you think that they want to put their best foot forward right away, but you know, they got to listen to the publisher. They got to listen to, you know, their investors or whatnot, and they must get these games out on their release dates. You know, damned, even if they don't, you know, if they're not ready. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's kind of disgusting. I'm kind of fed up with a lot of it, and it ticks me off. But
you're robotic.
Do, man?
Yeah. I think there's some Discord server connections there. You're a little bit robotic and pixelated, but that's
really,
I think
it's botting.
On my end, it is a little bit, yes, and which means that it will be for everyone else. But I think that's a Discord issue.
Wow, get some better freaking internet, Gaz.
What? My internet's fine. My internet's fine. Guys, I'm at Burger King. What do you want? I would like a halal beef burger, please. Thank you. With chips.
With chips.
With chips, indeed.
They're fries.
Fries. Oh.
They're fries.
I'm gonna have to put up with this tomorrow when
Chips.
I'm listening to all you Americans going, "Oh my God, Gaz, you want some fries?" Where I'll be.
You want some chips, Gaz? And you're like, yeah, and they give you a bag full of thinly cut potatoes.
Oh, that's what you call it, potato chips. But basically, we call crisps.
Potato chips.
Oh my God.
Crisps. God, you guys are so gay out there. You are. You really are.
There's nothing gay about crisps.
Just the word. Can I have some crisps, please? Yeah.
It's nothing flamboyant about crisps. Fonts. But yeah, so look, Marathon's out. I think it's a great game. I actually think it's a great game. I think it's so much fun. I've been playing it all day today. Instead of getting my stream ready and packing up for my flight early in the morning tomorrow, I am literally just been playing that. I've been playing that with...
That's exciting, man. That's exciting. Going out there with IG and doing your thing. And man, it must be also kind of scary for you, right? You got to be professional. This Gaz has to become professional. What are you gonna do, Gaz?
What do you mean? I'm not a freaking immature piece of shit all the time. I'm quite professional in my daily life. So for me, it's like when I do the interviews, I know the IG guys are a little bit nervous, like, oh, Gaz. I was like, but they've spoken to me normally and they've seen me in my professional capacity, and I think I'll be working quite a lot while I'm abroad anyway. So they've getting glimpses of my serious side. But yeah, I'm excited about GDC, man. Mostly because I picked a good time to go to GDC, because holy shit, there's some big reveals coming out. And Jason Ronald, answer my DMs, bro. Listen, let's go out, get some munch. You tell me the real shit. I want to find out
Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
Jason Ronald answers my DMs.
He doesn't answer mine anymore. Ever since I sent this weird video, I go, Jason, and my hair's fucked, and I've got this BB gun, and going, you fucked up the hot.
But here's the thing,
never replied to that.
Shout out to Jason. He's a good guy, and over the years, he's always answered my tech questions.
He's a really nice guy.
And I just don't ask about the Xbox itself. I've asked about general tech questions.
Yeah.
Because he's very smart, but he never will say anything that he's under NDA for. He just won't. So you ain't gonna squeeze anything out of Jason.
Thing is, though, my trolling has fucked things up. He used to reply to me straight away, and he was very candid about, what's happening with that. I'd be like, bro, wait, what's going on, man? This is a joke. Like, the hardware is taking the piss. The PlayStation 5, like the Series, and he'd be very candid and explain to me what the reason was. And there's that always respectful. And then the dickhead like me goes in and trolls it with a freaking BB gun and goes, Jason! And he didn't take that well. And that trolling element of me is not met well with a lot of people. Remember what happened to Colin Moriarty and all that shit? That fucked them up. And then this guy. And I'm going to see him there.
I think
and
Jason would understand that it's satire, but maybe some of the people above him didn't.
Yeah.
And that's probably what happened. But look, man, that's one thing about you that I'll say, because I hear a lot of people behind the scenes like say, oh no, now that Gaz is with IG, he's got to be professional. He's got to do this and that. And I'm like, have you not watched some of Gaz's videos that are very professional and well done? Like, do you not understand that the crazy zany videos that you do are in fact satire? They are not meant to be like realistic or a real freaking, thing that you really think. Like, you're just taking the piss out of situations.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it is. And it's lost on some people, unfortunately. Satire and sarcasm is lost on people.
Especially
and
Americans.
It sucks because, I will say a lot of Americans do get offended by satire and sarcasm.
I find that Americans really struggle to get maybe the UK brand of satire as well. I think Australians and English people do understand mine a lot more. When the English and Australians are like, yeah, I don't get it. Like, it's obvious. But some Americans are like, yeah, did you mean that? I'm like, bro. Like, but
I love satire. I love dark humor.
Yeah.
You and I go back and forth with dark humor behind the scenes that we can never say that
never
on cam. Never. But it's, but it's fun. It's just, man, loosen up, people. That's what I have to say about that.
Absolutely. I understand the spirit of the content that it's in. I get it. It's divisive nature of it. I can't just change it. I think part of the appeal of it is just making sure that you don't take things seriously. So it's the self-deprecating humor of it is something I think a lot of people should gravitate towards in an arena where everything is so freaking serious, and some people are just like that. They're just weird. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, this person's cool, and then I'm giving props, and then later on, oh no, fucking hell, you are actually this person. You are the shill that people say you are, and you are this and that. It's just like, whatever. I've discovered that over the years, and I just think, fuck. But anyway, look, it's going to be a good opportunity. Hopefully I get to meet people at Xbox. And Asha Sharma, where are you? I want to chat to the people and actually have a proper conversation. I'm not going to glaze like some people glaze. I will just want to have a real conversation. I think they'll appreciate that if I have an opportunity to do chat to them, because obviously,
and at the same time, you're not going to be an asshole. Like,
you're in person. What are you going to do? You're not going to be a dick.
Exactly. But that's how people perceive you, because they see your satire and your craziness, and they're like, oh yeah, he ain't going to make it. He ain't going to be able to interview people. I'm like, guys, stop.
What the fuck? You're like, bro, I'm a lawyer by profession. What do you think I do? Freaking go around putting things in my ass in front of my clients? Like, what do you think I do?
You're putting guns in your mouth and yelling shit at your clients. Yeah. You better pay me or I'm going to off myself. Yeah.
One day I'll get to that. But yeah, no, it's dumb, bro. It's dumb. But I went to Gamescom really and I saw the Xbox era guys. I saw John. He's like, Gaz, you're actually a really nice guy in person. I'm like, what the fuck do you think I was in real life? I just like, what do you think? I'm still surprised by that. But it is what it is. I don't know. I can't change the way people perceive things, but until I meet them. But it's gonna be interesting, and unfortunately you're in freaking Idaho where freaking there's no brown people, so I don't even know how I'm gonna meet you, because I go to San Fran again.
There is, damn it. There is. No. No, it sucks that I moved before you came out twice to the US.
I know.
To the West Coast. It sucks. But I'm loving life.
Yeah, I know you are.
It's slow pace.
I hope we get to meet up soon. I don't know what's happening on this. I won't be this summer. I think I won't be able to do this summer showcase thing because I think the official wedding ceremony should be around then as well. So that's gonna be freaking long.
That's right.
Yeah, so much shit going down this year. It's crazy.
Hitched.
Well, I'm officially married Islamically, so that's done.
Yeah, you're officially married.
Yeah, but yeah. Face 23 Brooklyn, New York. Before we talk about Fonz, the Xbox, let's talk about the bombshell, the absolute bombshell that was dropped by Jason Schreier, the eternally crying little man. He just confirmed, man. I don't know why I'm doing a little southern accent, but god damn it, man. Sony PlayStation gonna go back to exclusives and PC gonna get fucked. And I was one of the few people championing this, and the fallout from PC guys like, oh no, it's Alex, that little shit, and that Fritanga, the stupid twig, are insane. Like, why, Gaz? Why are you championing exclusive? Bro, I said what I said last week. I've been saying it consistently since I have been in this space from the beginning when I was a freaking embryo. Exclusivity is beautiful. It's great. It should be something that's harnessed. It's not because, I just want to deprive people of gaming experiences. Either you believe in the concept of competition or you don't. And if you think, oh no, you don't need to have exclusives to compete, well then, for God's sake, look at the last 3, 4, 5 decades in the gaming space, or however long we've been in this space, and look at what has galvanized this competition and brought this place to the place we are in right now. It's because of competition. And the moment that disappears, everything is fucking sterile and shit. And as soon as Sony pared back, despite the fact that I have a PC gaming rig and it would be contrary to my interests, I said, fuck it. Well done. I will buy a PS5 Pro straight away because I know this is a positive thing for the industry. It's a beautiful thing, and it makes Xbox look even more stupid for being a slut and opening their legs for everyone else when their previous competition beat the shit out of them. And now pressure is on. Pressure is on Xbox, no matter how much you want to deny it. No matter all you pieces of shit crying on socials when I put out a poll out when I said, would you give up Xbox Game Pass or day and date releases on Game Pass for exclusives? No matter what, still majority right now. I'll look at the freaking poll, and what will it be? The results will be, let me see. It was very close. About how many people? 5,152 people have voted at this point. And right now, it's standing at 52%. 52% say you would sacrifice Game Pass for exclusives. For the 52% of, and in the comments, hell no, fuck no, look at this, no, don't pay for Game Pass. So yes, and I liked it, fuck these. He says fuck no, yep, well done, damn. That's my friend Mahunga, shout out to him. J-Dub is like, I got him, either answer is an L for Xbox fans, and fuck it, day one for all games, day one, get rid of day one. Everyone, no, why not both? Never have. Everyone's no. The true answer of Fonzarelli Gaming is yes. Get rid of Game Pass. I want exclusivity back. I don't give a shit if that makes me a pariah in the space with the Xbox fans, because I know deep down they would sacrifice their mothers for exclusivity to come back. Talk to me, Fonz. Safe.
Well, let me just say that I was wrong. And I can admit that. I'm somebody who's always, anytime I've said something in the past and I've, been wrong on, I always admit it. I don't sit there and sugarcoat it and pretend like I didn't say something or go back and, erase my tweet history or videos and stuff like that, because I think that you put yourself, I'm just saying, like, you put yourself in a situation where, just admit it, man. Just admit when you're wrong. It's the best thing to do. I thought in the past that when Xbox started putting their games on PC, and we heard people like Jim Ryan state that, hey, these console gamers aren't enough and stuff, I was thinking that, I was drinking the Kool-Aid that that's the right thing. Put your exclusive games out on everything. Let people buy the games, and your company makes more money. Yeah. Great. Grand. What I wasn't thinking about, which I'm sure a lot of other people were thinking about, and shout out to you guys that were right, that were saying this all along, but exclusives drive innovation. They compel studios to create must-have titles that sell the fucking hardware. Mm-hmm. Period. Yep. And while Game Pass, you could look at it and you've got volume there, it risks quantity over quality, okay? And a lot of times they start focusing on games that just build for retention on that Game Pass platform service rather than, I don't know, artistic quality. Competition, guys, bottom line, keeps standards high. That is the ultimate situation here. And this is what, Sony has looked at. They've crunched the numbers. They've looked at what they did. And I've crunched some numbers too. Look, 1.1% over 5 years. And we're just talking the single player games, not Helldivers 2, not any of the live service. You just look at the single player games they were porting over, albeit they were late, 1 to 2 years and all that. It was only 1.1% of their total revenue for 5 years, over 5 years, all these ports. Now, that's revenue, not profit. So when they're telling you that they're seeing diminishing returns, they're not lying. That is very small. That return is minuscule in the whole scope of their business. And one thing we also know is that Sony has always prioritized their console. Yeah. And we used to, and I was wrong saying, oh, no, I don't think that's the way. I think they should prioritize the games and blah, 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 which, of course, I still think that the heavy emphasis on games, but that correlates to having your ecosystem and your hardware there as well. Because, look, without those freaking games, without compelling titles, you're not selling hardware. And this is exactly what happened to Xbox when they started putting their games on PC. You started to see less consoles getting sold, and then they decided the whole Game Pass thing, which they threw. And now, mind you, before I changed my stance on exclusives recently, over a year now, I've changed my stance on Game Pass. I think Game Pass is honestly a big disservice to the gaming community. I don't think it's very good. I think it's great for them. They get a monthly revenue stream that's, continuous, and it's profitable for the company. But again, you go back to that quantity versus quality debate. And I see that with Xbox games. And I understand some people love their games, but I also looked into the fact how many people are actually playing their games, and not just playing them, but beating them. A lot of these games that even some Xbox content creators tout, they're not even beating them. They're not. Do you know Avowed on Game Pass, just Game Pass alone on Xbox, only 5% of those gamers that booted it up beat Avowed. 5%. Did you know that 70-something% stopped playing Avowed within the first hour? These are statistics you can look up.
The only thing I would say on that point is, for me, that kind of shows to me that Game Pass is almost like a very elaborate demo system as well, because it allows a lot of people to try.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. So Game Pass has become this thing where it's, hey, it's a trial. I get to try these games, and if I don't like them, I can shut them off, play something else, which is fine.
Which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
But what is it doing when you see your first-party titles that are your big titles to entice people to come to your platform or Game Pass? They're not really doing well within Game Pass. They talk MAUs and say, oh, we had 10 million players play Expedition 33 in Game Pass, but if you look at it, 70-something% turned it off after 2 hours. So I've always, for the last year, I've been speaking up about this, where Game Pass and MAUs, you're constantly looking at the fact that I could start up a game and run it for 2 minutes, and I'm counted within those MAUs.
Yeah.
Is that really beneficial for the game or for Xbox? I guess they don't care because they already got your $30, right?
Yeah,
for
that's
the monthly
true.
subscription. So again, for them, it's great. But I argue that the reason why some of these people, a lot of them, aren't playing through the games is because the quality has been lessened. I think over the years, they're not spending as much, and they're not putting much effort and time in some of these games. And I could be objective. I played Outer Worlds 2. I like the franchise a lot. I think it's a fun franchise. But I could be objective and say, hey, I can see why it doesn't speak to a broader audience because, for one, it feels dated to me. Some of the mechanics and everything are kind of jank, but hey, I still had fun with it. And for, you just think about it, you're like, oh, but for $30, I can play that. I could play Avowed. I could play Indiana Jones and this and that. But at the end of the day, are they really good freaking quality games that stand up against other games at $70 price points out there? I would argue no. And I think that has been a problem for them too. And I think the major issue with Xbox across the board, one of the biggest reasons why people aren't growing Game Pass has stagnated. Consoles have totally stagnated. Like, consoles aren't being sold anymore. They don't have a problem with Xbox tax or any of this stuff. What you could call it what you want. I call it like there's a stigma around Xbox that people don't like them, right? Mm-hmm. You can call it an Xbox tax. But their major issue is the reason why there's that stigma is because the games don't appeal to a broader audience. That is why they're in the position they're in. I think that if they just concentrated on making better games, amazing experiences, more people would flock to the ecosystem. That's what I think.
That's an interesting take there, and quite detailed one, and a few things to unpack with what you've said there. And I think overall, I do agree that, whether it's Game Pass or whether, Xbox, how it's basically treated its gaming arm and how its management has treated the gaming arm, being really hands off. I don't know if it was Game Pass that contributed to the nature of the way the games are built. I will say, though, that because Game Pass exists, Xbox thought, well, because it's on Game Pass, the value proposition of it will speak more and do all the marketing for it, because the Game Pass is such a good value in gaming. Everyone's going to flock to play these games. And as a result of that, what hasn't happened? Well, typically, Xbox has been really hands-off. When it comes to the quality control, they, you know what happened last gen.
I didn't even mention the other aspect of Game Pass and why I don't like it either. It's conditioned gamers to not buy games anymore, period. And you could be one of those guys out there to say, look, I have Game Pass and I still buy games, but you are in the minority.
That's true.
I know myself, I was getting that way. I know freaking friends of mine that were getting that way. Game Pass has conditioned people to be like, hey, possibly that game right there that's a multi-plat, it could come to Game Pass one day, so I'm not going to buy it. And they don't. They literally think it may come, I'm going to wait on it.
I've seen that so many times. Is it on Game Pass? Is it on Game Pass? I'm like, I know. What do I know? Just fucking buy the game.
Yep.
There is that kind of like that mentality, because the service was so. Look, Microsoft went out to disrupt the market, and they went hard on Game Pass, and people like, it's so good it's not sustainable.
And they're making profits. I can't take that away.
Yeah.
Even if they lost a few, it looks like at one time they were above 35 million, and now they're saying they're about 30 million in Game Pass subscribers. Well, that's over 5 million people they lost. However, the price hike more than compensated for that loss.
Bro, yeah, so the price hike for me, how I think things went down, after that price hike was the end of it. For me, that was like, nope, it's not even worth it, really, unless you're on PC only or whatever. And it became to the point where, right, now the whole website crashed because a record number of people wanted to go and cancel it. I don't think they've recovered since that's happened, despite the fact that Xbox had a really good slate of releases on Game Pass. Like, if you really are into all those games, it's great. But ultimately, at what cost? At what cost? And what I want more than anything else is quality control to come back everywhere, which is why the whole point of exclusivity is so fundamentally important. Now, PlayStation, going back to PlayStation, because it's PlayStation.
Do you know what's with PlayStation? You know what's funny about that? If you do the math, that 1.1% that they would lose in revenue for over the 5 years there on PC ports, you know how fast they can make that up? By selling 1.2 million consoles.
All right, okay. I mean, there was almost 100 mil, so that's not exactly... I don't know.
It's not going to be hard for him to sell another 1.2 mil, especially over 5 freaking years.
2.5 billion seems a lot. I did say when it was announced that
$2.5 billion is including Helldivers 2 and the single and all the live service that they've sent over.
Okay. Well,
so that's a different, yeah. And Helldivers 2 is a good chunk of that.
So I thought, you know what, 2.5 billion, amazing. Took the piss out of it. Like Sony's definitely looking into this, and they're loving up the PC space. Obviously, it wasn't the case because Sony loves money. Sony will shaft its user base right, left, up, and down. They will do that unequivocally without hesitation. Yeah. But if they're pulling away, you're like I see all the PC guys crying about it. Oh no, Sony doesn't want our money. Oh, this and that. Look, if they were making enough money from this,
what money?
Bro, if they were making enough money from
it's not enough.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be pulling out.
Enough.
Obviously, they wouldn't be doing it. So it's not enough. It's not enough for them. So
and the other argument they'll make too is this is another one. Well, if they only did day and date, which I was heavy for because again, I'm on the platform. I'm on PC. Of course, I would want everything on one platform. However, I know now that that's the wrong mentality to take, especially if you want healthy competition and innovation within this space. You need those other platforms. You need them. I mean, it helps with everything from optimization in gaming to freaking just having that healthy competition from the other platforms. You need that. Without freaking, these exclusives, it just, they're upset because, hey, I'm getting something taken away from me. I can't have everything at one place. And I get that. But at the same time, I think competition is a way better approach than having everything on one freaking box, because then you get companies that get complacent. You get just a whole shitstorm of bad things happening with these games. You just do.
All right. Yeah, so I will say this. Ultimately, PC gamers are saying, you don't want our money? That's your fault. Oh, the reason you didn't make any money is because the games didn't release day and date. And then I look at something like Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade released, I think, a year after the PlayStation release. Mm-hmm. Sold way more on PC. What happened? That's a single-player game. That's a third-person game. It's got that ass, though, right?
That's because a lot of PC gamers must be horny or something.
But horniness aside, it's all about that cake, yo. But horniness aside, holiness aside, what cake? That ass. But holiness aside, it did sell. Spider-Man 2 didn't sell. You may say, yeah, okay, you don't, and there's a valid point to be made that you don't benefit from the marketing push that the PlayStation title gets. Everyone's found out the story maybe a year later, but Spider-Man 2 sales shouldn't have been that weak. I just don't. Without playing it, I will say, I don't think that's that good a game. But it's one of those I need to play to confirm. But generally, it's clear. PC guys don't value PlayStation games like PlayStation guys do. Like PlayStation guys are like, yeah, our exclusives, this and that. Maybe the PC crowd doesn't value them as much for whatever reason. They don't gravitate that strongly to them. And that speaks to the difference in the crowd. There are definitely different behaviors between different platforms. You'll see Arc Raiders dominates mostly on PC. On console, you'll find it on the top charts at 9, place 8, and on both Xbox and PlayStation in terms of sales. Whereas on PC, it's just all the way up there. Today, we saw Marathon being absolutely destroyed by an indie title that has over 500,000 players concurrent. What was that game called? Let me check SteamDB charts. And it's an indie title. It's not really my bag based on. I looked at it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I've never heard of this game. And it's 500,000 players. Slay the Spire 2, bruv. Wait, actually, that looks kind of good. That right now has 263,000. It's even beating Arc Raiders. It's an indie title. Shout out to indies, man. And this is one of the reasons why I love PCs, the PC space. The PC crowd is so discerning to different types of experiences, and you got to rate that. You got to rate. That's why I love the PC space. But obviously, it's the PlayStation crowd,
But
and
they have their own biases too, right? PC guys, they have their own biases. Most of them are just in love with Steam, and I like Steam a lot too. I think it's the best platform personally, but I can be objective as well and see what it's done to Xbox alone. And I would argue too that it's gotten Sony a little bit freaking lazy since Xbox bowed out. I've seen more remasters and remakes out of Sony than I've seen in previous years, you know? So I don't know, man. I just think that it's a culmination of things that has been snowballing, and it's because of that lack of competition, man.
Bro, let me tell you right now, Sony are fucking coasting, bro. They don't need to do anything right now. And I was talking about this last week. If Xbox went back to exclusivity, and we'll talk about that in a sec, but if Xbox ever went back to exclusivity, do you know how much this would change everything? It would change everything. For all you people out here crying about, oh my God, you take my Game Pass and access away, what's the net positive? Ultimately, a platform holder finally feeling the fire and pressure, deciding, you know what, enough is enough. We need to fucking fix our first party stable because we are actually competing with the market leader. What was the difference between James Allard and Phil Spencer? And then Phil Spencer gets turfed out. What was the difference? James Allard said what? The father of Xbox that delivered the best Xbox generation. He said, I want Ken Kutaguragi's resignation letter on my fucking desk. That's what he said. Really nice guy otherwise, but he was like, I want to make it fucking count. Xbox did the unthinkable. If you remember that point, everyone was gunning it. It's like, oh, Xbox not going to do anything in this space. Xbox not going to do anything. They're going to have a year head start, and Xbox leads the way, innovates massively with its consoles, and great games, all of it galore. You're telling me that wouldn't come back? Mm-hmm. If you had someone like that come in and say, you know what, and Asher Sharma says, I want to bring that renegade spirit back. Asher Sharma, go back and fucking find out what James Allard said. Because you want to go back to the renegade spirit of Xbox, that means going back and looking at James Allard's statements. Then if you want to actually read and find out what the renegade spirit was, have that competitive drive, go back and have faith in your Xbox platform and your games, and then go back and do your quality control if you really have faith in your, because it's all well and good making these statements saying, I'm going to focus first and foremost on Xbox, the console. Great news. I've been saying it for ages. You've been treating them as second-class citizens.
Exactly, though?
Yeah, but that's what it means.
What does that mean?
If it means anything, Fonz, what it means is
you need exclusives to it.
Exactly. You need to bring back exclusives.
You need exclusives.
100%. It's a proof that you fucking care about and have faith in your first-party games and your console. That's all it is. Even if you can bring a PC. PC is done.
Look, we already know Forza Horizon series sells, and would sell consoles.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
Now, what if Fable was really good and became a potential system seller? What if any of the future Elder Scrolls 6, mind you,
Elder Scrolls is bigger than Halo.
Potential system seller.
It's not a potential system seller. It is a system seller. So
it makes no sense not to just let that go to PlayStation. It honestly does.
It's a short-term gain and long-term loss because your brand will die in obscurity because you're just basically a publisher. If you have any
the other side of it too, I was thinking too, what if it's just because they really don't want to stick in the console game? You know what I'm saying? Maybe they wanted out of hardware after this last console. But it's weird because they speak out of both sides of their mouths, if that were true anyway. Because they're saying that they're all invested in consoles, right? They really want to push the console. Well, how do you push a console without compelling content that's exclusive to said console? You simply don't. You can't. It's impossible. You cannot sell consoles, and they've proven that with the series consoles. They've stopped selling.
Because they don't fucking care.
They have no exclusive content.
Exactly. What did they even have any games? Look, all this bullshit and kumbayaing from the Xbox community, and I get it on the neck all the time. I don't give a fuck. You guys are just wrong. You guys are Addict. I'm sorry, I don't have a 3-man. It would be nice to get you on here. I need to get that overlay. But, bro, if Xbox had any real appetite to compete the whole landscape would be so different. It's what I've been crying about from the moment this generation has begun, which has made me a target for the Xbox community for day dot, because I keep relentlessly pursuing this thing. Remember when the whole 2000, was it can't be what was it, 2022 or whatever, that shitty year post ABK, and I was grilling them and the whole Xbox community came after me for making videos about what the fuck is Phil Spencer doing, fuck ABK, you guys took it on. I was so spot on, and all the people that came after me about the exclusivity point, and now look what happened. Xbox has, for the first time ever, Fonz, for the first time ever now, I'm starting to see a little bit of energy in the Xbox community because there's a prospect of change. Phil Spencer came in, Phil Spencer came in, talked about all this open legs policy, gaming is everywhere. Sarah Bond basically got the marching orders from Satya Nadella, and they started doing this. This is an Xbox marketing strategy, which is a fucking joke. And then people started loving that up as well. Like, oh, it's so smart. It's so great. It's bullshit. It just completely, that marked the end of any real value of Xbox. And if you want to bring the Renegades, these are the statements that have come out of Asher Sharma's mouth. So you want to bring the Xbox, the Renegade spirit of Xbox back? You want to prioritize the console first? Then how the fuck are we going to take that seriously when you cater for PlayStation and the updates for games that come out are coinciding with the PlayStation release? Starfield's big update will probably come out when the PlayStation 5 release comes out. Hellblade 2 gets 60 frames when the fucking PlayStation 5 release comes out. Or something else. There was another game that came out, got another update at the same time when the fucking PlayStation 5 version came out. Listen, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. Fuck Game Pass. I say kill Game Pass.
The reason why that happens, Gaz, is because that goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show. Games are coming out not 100% ready, period. So all this freaking like, oh, well, PlayStation gets this and that. Well, that's because they finally got implemented within the game. They had time to implement it, and it goes to the Xbox version as well because it wasn't fucking ready, period. Like, it wasn't 100% what they wanted, what they envisioned at the beginning. Or maybe it was, but the publisher said, hey, we got to push it out now. So yes, by the time it goes to a PlayStation version, which it shouldn't, I agree with you, it finally gets finished.
Which is another point to be made. Okay,
you know what? I got to ask something. Addict, I'm with you. I don't think they wanted out of hardware because, yes, they wouldn't have hired a new regime in to try to push hardware. My question is, though, Addict, and you can answer in the chat, please. How do they do so without exclusive content that compels people to buy into the brand? How do you sell this console to somebody that doesn't have any exclusive games? Now, you're going to get a few million sold on this thing just because of the hardware alone, but that happens. That's always the hardcore, all that stuff. That always happens. But how are you going to get more gamers to buy into your platform? Say the same way that Sony has people buy into their platform, or the same way that Nintendo has people buy into their platform. You know how they do it? Exclusive content.
Absolutely.
But how would you say they would do it without it?
They can't do it without it.
That's my question.
All this bullshit about, so people are like, oh, exclusives? All you care about is depriving other people from gameplay experiences. You're a grown adult, this and that. No, some of us actually fucking understand the value of exclusives and what it can permit developers to do. Think about it. Use some common sense. Now, developers at PlayStation, they first party. I'm not talking about third parties. I'm talking about first party studios within these platform holders. So I'm talking about first party PlayStation studios and first party Xbox studios. Well, now that PlayStation, single player games, they only have to just focus on one platform. Tell me, and be honest with yourself, and don't give me a bullshit answer. Will the developers be able to get out more from their hardware, just focusing on one device, or a myriad of configurations for a myriad of devices, knowing full well that they have to make sure that this title is going to be able to be ported easily on multiple platforms? PlayStation is just going to focus on PlayStation. First-party studios with their single-player games know that they just have to build for the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. That's it, done. Khalas. It's easy, much easier. I'm not even a game dev. I can tell you, obviously, they don't have to worry about it. Every time How many developers complained when there was two SKUs even with the Xbox Series X and S? How many times the Remedy developers came out, Bethesda's developers came out and said this is bullshit, and then they had to delete their tweets because ZeniMax acquisition happened? So many developers called out, talked about it. Obviously, I will buy a PS5 Pro, knowing full well, you know what? Even though it may not be as amazing on my PC as my PC on a brute level, I know that this is a bespoke, finely crafted title that they've done to eke out the most for this console. And now this next Xbox, which is basically a PC, what's the value proposition of it? It's basically a PC, right? So why should I buy that over a PS5 Pro if or the PlayStation 6 when all Xbox games are coming out for it? It's that freaking herd mentality from so many content creators as well, without naming names, who have gone ahead and ashamedly just done a U-turn on exclusivity, just to parrot the line that exclusivity is dying, is bullshit, and it's better for the bullshit. All those people, all those fuckers cared. They cared about exclusivity, and then all of a sudden they fell in line with Microsoft. I mean, I'm not going to put any respect on that. I get murked. I get murked for saying exclusivity should be maintained all throughout. I know for a fact all the people that's conditioned to say right now that exclusivity is bad and Game Pass, they would rather have that, is a lie. Deep down, they don't know for a fact they would want a landscape where PlayStation is and the console is fucking killer. They're just producing these first-party single-player titles you can only play on PlayStation. Xbox finally comes in with Asher Sharma says, I'll tell you right now, Fonz, if Asher Sharma came out and said, we're going back to focusing on the console first and PC, they'll never let go of PC, which is fine. But we are not going to be releasing our first-party titles other than multiplayer and live service games on PlayStation anymore. That would be the biggest signal boost of Xbox ever. It would become the tetanus
100%.
shot. Everyone will be like, holy fuck, these guys actually want, despite everything, despite how much money they lost, how much money they made on PlayStation, these motherfuckers are going to go back to try and build this sinking ship with Xbox. They have that much confidence? They're going to do that again? You would win. No one would argue against that. Everyone would be shocked. They're like, fucking hell, Xbox is serious. Remember. And that's the point. It makes it show that Xbox is serious. And we'll never get that again unless they do that. That's the only way to do it. So aside from the beginning of the Xbox One generation, when they did the whole TV sports and it pissed people off, and they had the DRM and stuff, which came later afterwards. So it was kind of weird. But anyways, I get why people were pissed off at Xbox, okay? And Xbox wasn't really producing the type of games that PlayStation was last generation. So some people had flack with that. But the real hate from Xbox, and if you want to call it Xbox tax, guys, the real stigma, I call it, around Xbox, the bad stigma, really came after Xbox started putting games on PC. That's when the real hatred started for Xbox. Yeah. People don't remember this, but I was there on Twitter. I was there on socials when this started to happen. Yeah. That's when it really caved in for them, when they decided to stop really competing. And here's what I propose personally. I think not only do you have to pull games off of PlayStation, but they should pull Xbox games off of Steam as well. Nah, that's not gonna
happen.
They
can still do their Play Anywhere and use their Xbox store to sell their games through there, you know, to PC. But yeah, I don't think they should be on Steam either, because Steam is in direct competition with you. Yeah. The same as Sony is. Like, it's funny to me that people just don't see the obvious, but that is the truth. That's what happened back in the day. I remember seeing the outcries and the people that had this hatred, this vitriol for Xbox when they started putting games on PC. And I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. And at that time I used to think, oh, well, they're just a different crowd. You know, PC guys are PC guys. Bullshit. A lot of PC guys own fucking consoles. A lot of PC guys buy PS5s for the exclusive content that PS5 delivers. This is just facts. So I don't know where that, you know, thought process comes from when people were like, oh no, PC guys are different, you know. And I thought the same back in the day.
Well, they are, though.
But I've since changed my stance because I've talked to many PC guys who own PlayStations.
Yeah. Look, ultimately, if I made that post, if I want to play Soros, I want to play Wolverine, I want to play Ghost of Yote, I can't play that other than a PlayStation, I'm going to get a PlayStation. If I really care about those games, I will get a PlayStation. And with Xbox, next Xbox, which we'll talk about in a bit, is this hybrid device. I don't think it's as feasible that you're going to have that, actually.
If you think back when we were younger, think back to when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You owned multiple platforms. Why? Because they all had exclusive content to those platforms. So we just bought different platforms because you had to if you wanted to play the game. And I've always maintained that, even through the whole exclusivity, debates. I've always maintained being the guy that, hey, if I want to play a game that badly, I will buy the platform for it if it's exclusive. 100%. I've never changed that stance. Hence, that's why I have a PS5 Pro. And that's why I'm going to get a PS6, because they have exclusive content that I know I'm going to want to play.
Yeah.
So even if it's not my main platform, that's just the way gamers should be, honestly. They were back in the day. They still should be like that.
Absolutely.
Just go where you want. Look, buy the games you want, buy the platforms you want that they're on. I mean, if you really want to play those games.
The problem is, look, yeah, there's a argument. Not everyone can afford to buy multiple gaming hardware, especially in the economy the way
I'm talking. It's over the years. You don't buy freaking. I honestly think about it. Like, I grew up kind of poor, man. Honestly, but my parents still found a way to get me consoles. Like, I'd get a console, and then maybe a year or two later get another console, and it just build up over time because I wanted to play those games on those other consoles.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to buy everything all at once.
But the thing is, gaming is a luxury. People need to understand that. If you want a console, like, got PC,
it's become even more of a luxury now. Yeah. Oh, hugely.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
It is. Phase 23 Brooklyn, New York with a $20 super chat. Thank you, man. He goes, I keep seeing Xbox guys saying Sony is not going to leave $2.4 billion on the table for PC. That's 1.1% of their revenue. That took 5 years. I'm positive Sony doesn't care and can make that back on their console from their PSN store.
Yeah, 100%. He's right.
Face, you're correct. Like, at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding.
Do you know what else to add to that, Face? Because I'll help you out a little bit there. Their subservice doesn't do day and date, and they make profit off that. Pretty good profit off that subservice.
Yeah. Look at the poll, chat. 138 of you have voted. 200. Shout out to the 200 people here. Smash the like button, you bastards. So you guys, you're not bastards, but 64% of you. 64% of you have said Xbox should go back to having console exclusives. Boom! There it is, right there. And you can't. And then you've got the poll there, and you go say, "Oh, guys, ponies are voting on your poll as well." I'm like, but I'm an Xbox content creator. Remember, like Xbox favorite one. So why on earth is it slanted in favor of the other side? I know for a fact. No matter how much bullshit theatrics people put out, or the content creators that lie to your face who will be doing a U-turn if Xbox ever go back to exclusives, good luck to them about saving face. That's their problem. But ultimately, exclusivity is going to be the thing that finally brings flavor in this space, that finally brings competition in this space, has unique identifiers for the 3 platform holders in the space where it was getting all homogenized and really kind of bland, and the PC guys who are just being selfishly thinking, oh no. And that's what it is. They want the win because we get to play all the games all on our platform. No, these guys don't give a fuck about these games. Do they care about Soros? No. Do they care about Wolverine? They're the ones making fun of these titles. These are dog shit titles. Then shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. If you don't care about it at all.
Wolverine is going to sell very fucking well.
Of course it is. It's going to sell like mad. And you know what? All these PC guys out there, like who don't give a shit about, don't fucking buy GTA 6. Wait for it, and then pay GTA 6. I don't want to fucking see any one of you play GTA 6 day one. Oh no, it's Alex, for Tango, all of you, just shut your mouth. Go play freaking, I don't know, Bejeweled or whatever. Don't play GTA 6. You guys need to just shut your mouth.
082 said it right. They want to see consoles end. I'm sure some of them do. I'm sure a lot of them do.
Absolutely.
They don't want that freaking competition.
Absolutely.
They don't care. All they care about is feed me content, feed me games. And dude, again, I get that from a consumer standpoint, 100%.
It's just a selfish point.
It would be lovely to have everything on one platform, but at the same time, you have to ask yourself, is that competitive streak that's gone now, is that a good thing? Fuck no. We've seen what happens with that with Xbox. We've already seen what happens without competing.
Absolutely.
I don't want that kind of world, and in this gaming space, I just don't.
Face 23 Brooklyn, New York says Pissa 2 is the real deal. It looks like Pissa 2 is doing really good.
It looks like it.
That's
really
what happens when a platform holder that's a market leader actually has faith in its console and actually does work on it.
Innovates.
And innovates as well, and develops their hardware, whereas Xbox abandoned it. So not even if I still hear people complain about the record function of it. It can't even record your own voice. Like I got my mates playing freaking Ark Raiders, and they can't even record the basic shit. Fucking waste of time. Like,
we got to mention the fact that the thing that we didn't mention yet about the Sony pulling their exclusives as well. The other reason. People aren't necessarily wrong when they're saying, oh, they're threatened by the Xbox. It's not necessarily the Xbox. What it is because the Xbox has Steam and you also have the Steam machine. Both of these consoles, plus the possibility of OEM Steam machines from Xbox hitting your living room, that is direct competition and threatens their ecosystem. Of course, they're going to want to pull their games from Steam.
So I'm glad you mentioned that point. It is no coincidence that the day before this the day after the reports are happening about PlayStation pulling their services, Xbox announces a Project Helix and confirms that this is happening. You have to be stupid and naive. It's not just about the money. It's also about the threat that PlayStation will face, about the obscurity of its brand and diluting what the value proposition of its console would be if you've got an arena where the PC, the Steam box, the Next box, all playing your PlayStation games at better fidelity because of potentially raw specs. Now they'll focus on PlayStation only, get the best out of their world. They can have whatever bespoke built for this hardware. No one else is going to get it. It was a multitude of different factors that definitely informed PlayStation's decision to make sure they pare back on PC support. Crucial Black's got a really good super chat. Shout out to him because as a PC main, I have to say it's ironic that the Steam addicts lecture people about why exclusives are bad, yet turn around and brag about Steam exclusives. Interesting, 100%. Isn't it? It's interesting, isn't it? That they get a little bit of taste. I don't give a shit. I like Steam. I love Steam a lot.
Yeah, I like Steam too. But we all have our biases, including PC guys.
100%.
They're no different than console warriors at times. No different.
So, Deadly Headley, thank you so much for the 5 super stickers. I agree that Xbox needs to retain some semblance of exclusivity. But what happens if Xbox launches Elder Scrolls 6 as a console PC exclusive and nothing changes? Nothing changes. Why wouldn't it change? Deadly, I love you, bro, but you're the one who was sucked the out of the "This is an Xbox" ad campaign that you made your video of. You think I don't remember that? You freaking sucked the from the back, from the fucking back.
Man. Don't do my Deadly Headley like that.
I love Deadly. Like but hey, Deadly, you're gonna get the smoke. You freaking made a video on it. You sucked the shit out of it. Now you're saying that you do. There's some semblance of exclusivity needs to come back. You motherfucker! I want to fucking put hits on all of you.
Who the fuck is this guy?
All these guys came in at me. Everyone, chat. How much shit did I get for talking about exclusivity? I'm still getting it in the chat right now. But even despite that, look at it. Freaking Deadly Headley is proof that all of you guys want exclusivity back. You just want to fucking, because you guys committed so hard to the Xbox narrative to try and pacify yourselves, right? And shout out to Doc Dog. Doc Dog 1985. This bastard has been one of the few people along with me on the same. Doc Dog doesn't get enough credit, just like I do. He was there with me about exclusivity, about the value proposition of it, about 30 frames and 60 frames. Doc Dog, vindication. If Xbox ever brought it back, it would just be me and you standing on the freaking shut the fuck up, and then we'd be saying, everyone else, we bleed green. Dirt. Sean, all of you bastards, I want to say this. Fuck! I want to say this.
Answer his question.
I will answer that question in a sec, but I will answer that question. That's a good point. Thank you for reminding me. But I want to say this. All you guys just said, we bleed green. All you guys go into these fucking Xbox podcasts, yeah? And all like, boom, and all this shit. All the guys fucking had a Stockholm syndrome and just went by whatever fucking marketing that they fucking funneled through your asshole and you just came out of your mouth. Now what? I hope they bring back exclusivity so you have a fucking shame yourself. Don't even dare celebrate for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. You guys bleed green. It's not a Dirt and Sean. I love Dirt and Sean. These are guys actually legit. But I will say this. If you truly cared about Xbox, about competition, about it rising the tide, you wouldn't just go parrot every fucking line from that company. That's the difference between someone who really wanted Xbox to thrive and this industry to thrive.
Oh,
There's very few people like that.
The parasocial relationship needs to end. The parasocial relationship with Xbox and the community needs to fucking go.
Okay,
It's terrible.
Well, fucking let them do
Gives
it.
these people a false sense of...
Let them do it. Let him do it.
It's
Although
weird.
your name was in this
It's
fucking
really
signature
weird.
banner of Asher Sharma as well. How are you, mother?
Yeah. Yeah, I told you how that happened, and I'm just like, okay. Anyways,
listen. Anyways, me, bro. Why are you fucking loving up Asher Sharma, huh? You're touching her up and shit. That sounds weird.
Shit, she don't follow me.
Well, she doesn't folloll me either.
Phil, you know what?
Let me
Phil
answer this
never
question.
followed me either. Yeah,
Phil's
he
never
never
followed. Phil watched my show, our show, Game On Daily. He told Hoggy like he watches our show, and I still gunned him repeatedly to the. That's why no one fucking responds to me at Xbox. But at least someone in this fucking space kept it real. Even though the most freaking Xbox heavy podcast, someone kept it real. And to answer this weird hypothetical in Deadly Headley's clavicle, what if Xbox launches an Elder Scrolls 6 as a console and PC exclusive and nothing changes? Do you know what that means? It means Elder Scrolls 6 is dog shit. Now, the game that we says is a system seller didn't make any difference. Either it's a fucking good game and we put respect on its name and it would change stuff because it is actually a system seller.
PlayStation users will buy an Xbox to play it if it's a great game.
Yep.
Exactly.
Or it doesn't. If it didn't change anything, it means Elder Scrolls 6 is overrated. The ship has sailed on Bethesda's titles, and this is not a system. Why can PlayStation and Nintendo produce system sellers and it just change things?
Gaz, that's why I hated when Phil Spencer said we can make an 11 out of 10.
Yes.
And it wouldn't have PlayStation guys buying an Xbox. That's just such a crock of shit, because if I was on PlayStation only, I would buy an Xbox for an 11 out of 10 fucking game that I want to play.
Bro,
it makes no sense to say such bullshit. You know why Phil said that? Because they had no 11s out of 10s.
How many people?
0 of those.
Exactly. Bro, you're saying, oh, if you made an 11 out of 10, it still wouldn't fuck. Bro, talk to me when you do produce those games, okay? And at a consistent level, that Xbox is known for producing quality games. Until you've done that, don't fucking talk about hypotheticals that haven't happened. Even if we produce yeah, you're right. If you produce an 11 out of 10 game, it wouldn't change anything because you had a fucking whole failed generation of bullshit. And now you want to suddenly think 11 out of 10 is going to change everything? No, you're a mega publisher with multiple studios that fucking dwarfs everything else. You should be consistently producing quality every fucking year. Every fucking year. That should be the minimum demand. So why do I get in the neck for that? Why is PlayStation, the company that's so comparatively minute in terms of its fucking wealth, completely schooling you? Nintendo's schooling you. It's because you... And this is the reality. Microsoft, being a big mega fucking company, never really cared about gaming as hard as it should have, because as soon as the fucking COVID bubble burst, they went in on the AI thing. Satya Nadella with his bald head came in, AI, and AI ended up being shit, and that bubble's burst. So what's happened is, and what I'm finding out is, the developers are still within Xbox first party. The multiple studios are pissed. They have no faith, because when it came to they gave them the budget. They fucking during COVID, where it was really bullish to invest into gaming, and then what happened? They fucking turfed them, cut them immediately, like they were bastards. These bosses weren't even needed. They had redundancies, they fired people, cut teams, and now Asher Sharma, apparently rumors suggest, Bloody freaking Saturday goes, I'm giving her a blank check. Yeah, you gave a blank check to your cousin. Yeah, you fuck. Now I want to see what you're going to do. Yeah, and the developers are still not confident.
That wasn't true, by the way. I
it's
heard
bullshit.
I
don't know where that's coming from. I don't think that exists at all.
I got a phone call that night, and I was asked why the F is Colt pushing that she got a blank check, and I thought it came from Colt at first. I thought he heard from a source, but apparently it came from Ecstasis or whatever his name is, this Spanish-speaking YouTuber. I don't know where he's from, but it came from him, and he gets a lot wrong apparently.
I don't even know what fuck the statements. They came out of Asher Sharma's mouth. The real statements that you talked about. I want to bring the Renegade spirit back. I want to bring focus on the console first. I want to bring games, right? That's our position. Bring back exclusives. That's the way to do it. If you don't do anything less than that, it's not going to change them. It's not going to push the needle. Yeah, and for the first time ever in a long time, the prospect of change at Xbox with this new leadership has galvanized the Xbox community. Finally, there's some energy in it, because now we're not all relegated to a fucking boring landscape where this Xbox is everywhere and everything. It's not really trying to do everything. Like, the hardware itself is, and I'll talk about that in a sec, but the hardware...
Oh, by the way, can I just really say that the fact that we've heard that song and dance before with Phil when he was supposedly given a blank check and he spent it on $80 billion just to give to PlayStation. That's basically what happened.
But one of the most egregious things in this space is all the Xbox fans, all of us, rallied behind Xbox because, ABK, this is gonna competition. It was, for me, it was competition. The moment it happened,
it was like amazing. Like,
quit. The moment it happened, you quit. And the Xbox guys that still cap for Xbox after that is fucking atrocious. And that's the point. You want to bring it back, Asher Sharma? You want to bring it back? You want to prove your words mean something, and that you have real confidence, true confidence in Xbox as a brand and in your console and your next-gen hardware? The only solution is bringing back exclusives. If you don't do it...
And let's just make one thing sure. We're not bashing Asha. We're actually hoping she does the right fucking thing.
Look, Asha, you are here.
Again.
You are here now in this space. I'm sorry, but you've got your AI bod history. You don't have much gaming experience, but it doesn't matter, because your predecessor had a lot of gaming experience. Yes, he saved Xbox by convincing Saturn to be there. I am never going to downplay that, but at the same time, he has to own his failures, or whoever's behind the failure. Until we get a press release confirming what happened or an interview what happened, it's going to be Phil Spencer who's going to get the blame. You're new in this space. You want to live by your words, which are very specific words. We're telling you what you need to do. I'm not saying that you're going to be shit at your job, but forgive me for being extremely pessimistic about the prospects of changes at Xbox that has been swallowed by Microsoft, that has completely diluted the brand identity to the point where now that big $1 trillion company is running the shots with your Amy Hoods and with your Satya Nadellas. Prove it to us. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with these guys at GDC and convince me. Before we talk about the Xbox hardware, we're going to talk about Perfect Image taken with a $5 super chat. Question: if exclusivity didn't matter, why do people have HBO, Apple TV, Disney, and Netflix because of exclusive content? Why? Absolutely.
100%.
Even in the subscription services, you've got exclusive content. Why? Why do they exist? Exclusives are dead. Get over it, you fanboy, says Max City. And tell that to Nintendo. And tell that to PlayStation.
Tell that to Sony now.
Tell that to Nintendo. Tell that to Sony.
Tell that to the two companies that have sold hundreds of thousands of consoles. Like
millions of consoles.
Come on now.
Millions of consoles.
Hundreds of millions. Yeah.
Hundreds of millions of consoles. And you want to... The third place
tell
player...
Tell that to them too.
The third place player gets to run the shots. Consoles exclusive over Max City. Get the out of here. Oh, we exclusive.
I'm telling you right now, if they do not go back to exclusives, they're going to be lucky to sell 10 million units of that new platform.
Look,
lucky to hit 10 million.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect segue there. You're spot on. The next Xbox. Let's talk about this this machine.
Project Helix.
Yeah, DNA. It's a helix. And it exists, and it's a native device. Okay, why? Okay, right. Let's see. Oh, look, it's Max City. You guys are too old to be acting like this. It's just video games. It's not that serious. Grow up already. Oh, forgive me, Maxie, and for us to entertain you, to speak and.
How are we acting? We're talking about the situation because we love the hobby and we want to see it get back to form. We want to see them compete again and actually innovate again.
Well, what do you want to do?
We want to see these people. Yeah, we want to see developers make some fucking great games on both sides, on all sides.
Exactly. You're the one who's prescribing to a fucking fake narrative, exclusive to these dead guys, because you're a freaking Xbox fanboy who likes to suck Phil Spencer's. So it's different. Even though I get it, we're a bit immature and we're quite animated. But what the fuck do you want? What do you want to go to your Xbox Echo Chamber podcast?
Hey, I don't care.
But Asher Sharma's gonna do a really good job. I believe gaming for everybody.
Jesus.
But fuck that shit, man. This is the point. This is he had all these pussies talking about Xbox and what it needs to do, and they just fell in line with the marketing spiel. You love this as an Xbox. You love this as an Xbox ad. You love that shit. If you went and supported that shit, get the fuck out of here.
This or that. This or that.
I love you, Dudley.
This or that. This or that. It's an Xbox, man.
Exactly. Everything's an Xbox. My fucking toilet's an Xbox, according to Microsoft. That shit needs to fucking change. And now we've got the next Xbox, Project Helix. Miss Sharma, she's out here trying to bring the renegade spirit back. She wants to focus on the Xbox as a console. What is this machine going to do? We're going to find out maybe as soon as in a couple of days, because I'll be there at GDC. Jason Roder, I will touch your beard and I will give you a hug. And then you had to speak to me on a fucking level about what the hell you guys thinking with this console. I made a video on it before on this channel about what the next Xbox needs to be, on the basis that you've forgiven foregone exclusivity. A hybrid console device on paper is beautiful. It is back to the spirit. It's ironic because the original Xbox with Jay Allard actually said, nope, fuck Windows, we're getting rid of it. Now you're bringing Windows back, and that's where my side eye is like, oh, the Windows element of it is not that great. I'm actually looking at Steambox really as something that I really want to interested in. But now, let's be honest, and PlayStation guys, don't even fucking deny it. Would you not want, and on paper, again, let's see on execution, but fucking... a powerful enthusiast grade hardware machine and gives you the ease of use of console as well as the ability to play PC games. Finally, some change in the space. At least one of the three, all three entrants are doing something different now. PlayStation is going to stick to its PlayStation hardware, a single player game, and exclusives is bespoke hardware. Xbox is bridging the gap between PC and console, which is in line with its DNA as a computer company, and you got Nintendo doing its own thing. Distinguishing factors between all three players. Great. Hardware space is finally getting interesting. Without PS5 and the Xbox Series X were basically gimped PCs, and they were just fucking doing the same thing with just minor differences. Now we finally we have some changes there. Jeff Keighley. Poor Jeff Keighley. That guy can't catch a break. First of all, he backed Highguard and he said apologies will come in soon. And Jeff Keighley, look, I like Jeff Keighley, man. I respect what he's done, but at the same time, he has that weird kind of pony attitude about him. And he goes, Xbox has announced that Project Helix is the code name for the next generation PC-based Xbox hardware device. It really hurt him to say console, to the point where, bam, you got community noted. The Xbox CEO has officially stated that the next-gen Xbox is a console, and that statement is there. You had Tom Warren basically a PC-based hardware device. I think you mean Xbox console. Do you consider Steam Machine a console? Responds Jeff Keighley. He says Valve calls it a PC, probably because it's designed to run PC games and not console versions. I'd imagine Xbox is calling next gen Xbox because it's designed to run Xbox games as well as PC games. It's common sense. Now, as much as it's fun to make fun of Jeff Keighley. He's, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna fucking look. I've taken the piss out of him. People know I've taken the piss out of Jeff Keighley a lot. It is what it is. When is a console not a console? And the existential question has been burning the internet, apparently, which I find so fucking hilarious and almost redundant, because reality is this.
Who fucking cares what it's called? Like, it doesn't bother me that it's called a console. Like,
Yeah,
you can call
what
it
the
whatever
fuck?
the fuck you want. I don't care. Now, by some of these people's own admission, back, just several months ago, they were saying that the ROG Xbox Ally X wasn't an Xbox console because it couldn't play your Xbox library. Now, in total contrast to that, the Helix will play your entire Xbox library. So by your definitions, it should be a console. But now they're still arguing it. Now they're saying it's emulating.
Oh,
it's
my
emulation.
fucking days.
And I'm like, look, whether they emulate or not, it's still done through the hardware and it's native on your console. It makes zero difference how you're playing that game on that freaking console natively.
Absolutely.
Makes zero difference. I've talked to freaking Jason Ronald about that too. Zero difference. People are just clueless and they just want to run with narratives just to argue. And it's like, man, I don't have time for that anymore. Like, the arguments that people pose online, I just laugh at them, man. It's ridiculous.
Look, even if it's emulation, there may be pros and cons of emulating it or whatever. You guys specifically said when Asus ROG Ally, does it play Xbox games? No, it's not an Xbox. Okay, fine. Now, does the next Helix, whatever the hell the console is going to be called, will it play Xbox games? Yes. But there's no but. There's no but. After you said that,
No but.
no buts. But
No but.
no buts indeed. But
Flat ass.
oh, damn. There's nothing worse than that. But I will say is this. Look, ultimately, I don't give a fuck. If you can play whatever solution they find out, if I can play Xbox games natively on this device and then mix it up with PC games and have Steam or whatever in there, that's fucking amazing. And it's different. And you can cry about the exit. All the PlayStation guys will go hard to fucking downplay the whatever a console is. Like, you guys on the driving seat now behind what an Xbox considers a console. This device exists. It's a hybrid device, and I know for a fact you guys wish that the next PlayStation would have some of these features. You want a no holes barred, a powerful enthusiast grade device, and that's what it's going to be. And it's going to be priced between $1,000 to $1,200 or whatever, and it's going to be expensive. But I know for a fact the PlayStation guys who said Xbox welfare pass, who made fun of people saying that the PS5 Pro was expensive, would absolutely buy a PS6 that had similar things. So I don't buy that bullshit for a second. But this device, which we're going to find out in a couple of days about what it's actually doing, I need to understand how they're going to... They've given us an indication that Asus ROG Ally was a glimpse into how the next Xbox was. So is it going to be like that? Is it going to be more? What? How is that going to work? I need to see, what are the specs of this thing? Some people are saying 5080. I'm like, bro, are you fucking taking the piss? Like, what are the specs of this thing? But
the thing is like, most of these leaks are coming from Moore's Law is Dead, who does have internal sources, I'm sure, because he gets some things right and stuff. He gets a lot right, actually. But there's times where he's gotten things wrong before consoles come out, and he's leaked stuff that was kind of over-exaggerated. So I am just holding off until we actually hear what this thing actually can do. But if it is, let's just say for the sake of argument, we heard that its spec is close to a 5080. GPU-wise. We've also heard that the CPU-wise, it's comparable to a 9800, AMD 9800 X3D, which is really fucking good.
Really?
Yeah, listen.
My PC's
and a 48 gigabytes of shared unified memory.
No chance.
Which at first you're like, it's shared unified because, they don't have VRAM on their, SoC, the GPU or whatever. So it's a 48 gigabyte, but that's fucking really good. that is 48 gigs is still really freaking good because you don't need that much to play freaking games.
Well, then they're going to share it with the OS, right?
It's going to share with
Windows
OS, sure, but not a lot of that is going to be allocated to just Windows, because remember, it's supposed to shut off Windows completely when you're on the console side of things. You're not even messing with the Windows side.
That's where I need to see. That's where I need to see how it works.
That's the most important thing. If they can actually do that and they can make it to where Windows isn't fucking such a resource hog on this machine, that's pretty impressive.
That's a
and if these
beastly little
specs
machine.
are right, and it comes out
I don't know anything about these specs, by the way.
I'll even say under $1,500. That is a fucking beast for that price.
At $1,500, if you get that beast, if it's true,
if it's true,
bro, that is ridiculously good value. $1,500, that's mad. That's insane, bro. I spent nearly $5-6 grand on this thing, and that thing is gonna be, bro. I don't know how that's going to be that. I'm pretty sure those specs are overblown because that sounds too good to be true. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, that's why I reserve judgment on like what it's going to do and stuff. Like people are constantly like, today, case in point, I was on Twitter and some guy was telling some other guy who was asking legit. He was like, hey, I want a reason to buy this thing. I'm really compelled, but I have a 4090 computer and I can play all my Xbox games there. And guys were telling him, oh, it's better than your 4090 rig. And I'm like, stop. Don't freaking spread false information like that, because it's not going to beat his 4090 PC. And then he went further to say the PS5 Pro is close to the 4090. And I'm like, all right, look, I'm just going to correct you and walk away. Your PS5 Pro is more akin to a 3070 or a 7700 XT. That's it. And I walked away because that's what it's more like. It's comparable to those cards. But you get these people that will exaggerate like this, man. And it's not doing anybody a service by doing that. It's actually going to make you look stupid in the end when the consoles come out and it's not what you're touting.
Absolutely.
But 48 gigs, somebody in the chat was laughing at the 48 gigs shared unified. Well, look, that is good. You could play games right now. Every game really at 16 gigabytes of RAM. Yes, it doesn't have the VRAM on the console side, but that's where you get even more RAM there with that shared 48 gigs. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, the PlayStation 6 is rumored to have 30 gigabytes of shared RAM. So
interesting.
There's a difference there.
I think the specs seem a bit too good to be true.
Like you said earlier, you have to take into consideration Windows and all that.
Yeah.
So
Even then, I don't know. Those specs look way too good to be true. But we'll see. We'll see what they are. I don't know how they'll subsidize. They're not losing. Someone said that in the chat, and he's absolutely spot on. He said Microsoft are not looking to subsidize this. They're selling this app profit. So is it going to be that? I don't know. That's the kind of thing that we'll find out. Deadly Heady, thank you for the £5 super chat, because I still think that ad, the this is an Xbox ad, did a good job of selling the ecosystem, but the brand should have followed up with a hardware push. Instead, it went silent. I don't think it did even that, to be honest with you. I think it fucking hurt the hardware. So you talk about hardware push, but the ad literally is counterintuitive to the hardware. It basically says you don't need the hardware. So it falls direct opposite to what the messaging is about hardware and the redundancy of Xbox hardware and how Xbox is not taking it seriously. And you don't hear anything about Xbox Series X from Xbox, so they don't believe in it. They didn't believe in it. They abandoned it. Captain Chat, thank you for the £5 super chat. Next Xbox, over $1,000 and no exclusives is a very hard sell. How do they sell the new console when majority of consumers are normies? That's a good point. If the next Xbox is this enthusiast grade hardware and it has no exclusives, what is it? What's the point? If Xbox does that and it has no exclusives and it is this hybrid console, what it means to you, and this is the reality until they change it, Xbox considers PlayStation, remember that, its primary audience, because they're still selling full price to the normies. Because the normies are there. They're on PlayStation. You're releasing games day and date, Xbox games day and day on PlayStation. PlayStation is your primary audience. They will extract maximum value out of Xbox guys, for you guys, for your enthusiast grade stuff. You'll pay for Game Pass, which might disappear or get rolled up with the online play. So you don't need to pay to play online, or it will be rolled up into Game Pass. And the enthusiast grade is like your Alienware equivalent. But until exclusives stop on PlayStation, PlayStation is Xbox's primary audience when it comes to buyers and consumers. Because they have 100 million of them out now, thereabouts. Their buying power is way more. The normies will be there, and that's it. And that's what you become. You become a third-party publisher with no real renegade spirit, no drive to make the Xbox console relevant, and you won't be able to do it. What's the long-term game? Satya Nadella has gone out and said he regrets Microsoft giving up on Zune. He regrets Microsoft giving up on the mobile space prematurely because they capitulated. So now he's repeating the same mistake with the console, where you have a real opportunity where there's a lot of brand affinity with this only entrance that Microsoft has into the living room in the entertainment space. It will never get that kind of foothold ever again. So what do you do? What does my Xbox do? So this is the long-term gain is exclusivity. Make sure that people are enticed into your hardware setup. And if it's just software, then you're a third-party publisher, and all this stuff is just meandering, just bullshit. It's just for you enthusiasts out there, for all us enthusiasts out there, but understanding that Xbox has given up and it's just giving you an option potentially to capitalize on it, and also to migrate users eventually from its Game Pass stuff. I'm expecting Game Pass to be dropping day and date now, because they don't. Did Asher Sharma talk about Game Pass at all? Did Satya Nadella talk about Game Pass at all? Did Matt Booty talk about? They didn't even mention Game Pass. They didn't mention Game Pass at all. That itself says before they couldn't even stop talking about Game Pass in every fucking conversation. Xbox hasn't. Game Pass doesn't even have remotely in Asher Sharma's lips. What that means to me is Game Pass, they're just gonna drop it. They didn't back it. You got rid of the value proposition by releasing on PlayStation. Game Pass, you just talk about value. It wasn't enough. Watch what happens next. They will drop day and date, and they'll drop and then eventually they'll just merge the service with something else. It's going to happen. It's already starting to happen anyway. And it all tied to value proposition, and it's all tied to exclusivity and the appeal of your brand, and you've diluted the shit out of it. Wait and see. Just wait and see. You guys saying no in the chat? Okay, we'll see.
I'm wondering if they might change the way Game Pass is now, like maybe pull day and dates and have something similar to what PlayStation has, and just reduce price, or restructure the whole thing and have different tiers, but pull back on those exclusives. On those first party day ones, and possibly even stagger the dates. Kind of like PlayStation does. A year later or whatever, it might go to the service.
Yeah, absolutely. They look. Game Pass still had the ability to be massively disruptive, but it failed. Not as a model, because if they had the quality output and the value proposition of their first party titles, and they marketed properly as well and believed in it, Xbox Game Pass, if they backed this so strongly and had games to leverage this service and the right messaging, it could absolutely be a success. But Microsoft treated that again like so many other failed endeavors, and I think Game Pass will be joining that as well. The day and date is, they don't mention it. There's no you don't see it. So Game Pass, I'm not saying Game Pass will die, but Game Pass day and date, they're going to be dropped. And it's just going to be one of those things we backed, believing in this. Xbox Game Pass as a service, as a disruptive service, was so good. It's so good, but I guess the pricing is the problem. But think about what Xbox Game Pass did. It basically gave you like for me, it was amazing because it gave me the flavor of, when I was little and I couldn't afford these games, I was pirating games. They gave you so many games on this service that you could play everything. Now, that's still the case. Like third-party titles, it's a great service. I'm not gonna downplay that. But your first-party stuff, until you get that shit correct, there's not gonna be no drive there. The vast majority of people who first went to Game Pass was because of their first-party day and date stuff. That was the main driver. That's where people say it's not sustainable. And if they drop it, but they may bring back exclusives for console exclusives, I would say that's a positive step. For me, that suggests, and this is where I'll concede to the PlayStation guys' narratives about the quality of first-party titles, because then it would suggest to me that, okay, fine, you're bringing back exclusives and you're taking them away from the Game Pass. That just shows to me that, okay, look, the cost of building these really good quality games when we see them is really high. We can't supplement them in a Game Pass, and here's the proof. I don't know how the numbers will work, but to me at this stage, Microsoft's not pushing Game Pass. Why should I believe in it? And
I think you just have to look to PlayStation and to see how they run their sub-service to see why that works for them, because the fact, I mean, it just kind of proves that their games are on another level quality-wise, and they sell. They actually sell. There's proofs in the pudding. And I'm talking about their big games. Their big games. Wolverine, Spider-Man's, God of War's, all those things. They sell. So, of course, they're not going to dilute their quality of their games just so they can implement, because I think that's what's happening in Game Pass.
You think that anything in Game Pass forces diluting the quality of it?
Yes, I 100% do, because when I look at games like Avowed, Outer Worlds 2, South of Midnight, those types of games, I definitely don't see a level of quality getting anywhere near Sony. Now,
I just don't think they had the capacity at that time. I mean,
I think Forza Horizon 6 is a different story. That game sells. And I think that's one game that I would say, doesn't really get diluted. Some people argue that it has. I don't know that it has, because I'm not a big fan of racing games, but I've heard some people say that, it's gone downhill over the years. It's, the last one wasn't as good as the previous ones, and et cetera. But when it comes to like COD, they've already proven by putting COD in there, they've lost so much fucking money. You're talking about the last two CODs losing close to $1 billion because of Game Pass, because of its implementation into Game Pass day one.
Yeah.
So that's already been talked about. I mean, there's rumors swirling that Activision was already told that the next COD won't be in Game Pass. Yeah. I don't know how true that is. This is what I've heard. And if that is true, I'm like, well, okay. I think some people are all right with that. But you did say all your first-party games are going to be day and date in Game Pass. What does that do legally by pulling first-party games from Game Pass? Because there's got to be some legal thing there to even start pulling any kind of first-party games from there.
That's a good point.
Because I could see some lawsuits happening.
I think what they would have to do is commit to a certain period of for legacy subscribers already, and then have a hard cut and then stop it. Again, this is all theoretical. They might not do this. We're just wondering whether. I imagine that they will actually pull like the day and date stuff eventually, but how they do it legally, that will be a bit problematic. Yes, I think they'll just have to take the hit, because at any point they have to have a transition. They have to implement it. So you commit to the legacy people who have already subscribed to it, and then just change it for that, or just take the lawsuit on the chin because it's Microsoft. I think they can do that.
Bacon Neon said in the chat, he's like, what about those who stacked years in anticipation for those first-party titles?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I don't know how you navigate that in Game Pass.
I don't know.
I just don't. I don't know if they give you some sort of like, something else, in place of that, or credits, or I don't know would happen there. But I just think that, you know, the dilution of their quality is definitely fucking happening. And people can disagree with me or not, but I can tell you that there's kind of proof there, and that is the lack of sales on other platforms.
I
they
would
release
say
day and date, and they don't really sell.
I just don't look. The games that you mentioned, like South of Midnight, I don't think Avowed. Like I think they speak Outer Worlds. I mean, Avowed and Outer Worlds
can go on and on.
So I mean, Avowed, Outer Worlds. These games have solid games. The Metacritic scores like 86 for Outer Worlds 2. It's not. It's better or in line with the first game. It's not like it's doing
but
terrible.
Not but the thing is
are they pushing the needle because they're made from the studio or because of Game Pass? Because you're saying Game Pass is causing that quality.
I think Game Pass has a lot to do with it. I think
don't
the
know
money
if
is
that's
not
gonna
there.
do that. I think. Well, okay. A byproduct of
these developers are constrained by money and time. So do you think that they are given the money and time to create something that is of, say, Sony quality when it comes to some of those bigger games? I know a lot of people out there, especially fanboys, hate that I compare it, but I just have to, because you look at one company selling the games and the amount of games they sell compared to the other, and you're like, why don't those appeal to a broader audience?
Bro, maybe but look at the studios making the games.
They're not the same quality.
Compulsion games, bro. But come on,
Compulsion is small. Compulsion is small, but you know.
What about Obsidian? Create Outer Worlds 2 and Thingy. They're just in line with the games they've produced before, but with a little bit more.
What about Bethesda? What about them? What about Doom? The Dark Ages.
What's wrong with
that?
Okay.
It didn't sell.
Are you... hold on. Doom the Dark Ages versus Doom Eternal. Like, are you saying there was a massive dilution because of a
Doom
budget?
Eternal was such a better game, in my opinion. Such a better game.
Is it better because it's on Game Pass?
And it was to a lot of people, obviously.
Do you think Game Pass hindered the development of Dark Ages?
Not necessarily hindered the development of Dark Ages, but I think Game Pass... had it been able to be off of Game Pass, maybe it would have sold more then.
You're talking about sales now? I'm talking about the quality of the games.
Oh, quality, definitely. I think the quality has lessened with most of their titles, yeah.
But bro, you can't blame Game Pass for the lowering of the quality.
Oh, yeah, you can. You can. Because the time and money is not put in there because it's too much.
So you're saying that the Doom the Dark Ages quality is a reflection of the fact that it's coming out on Game Pass?
I'm talking about all of them. Avowed, everything, except for maybe Forza Horizon. I don't know. I don't know how Forza, is or was. So, but I've heard people say the same thing, that they don't think that it's as good as it used to be, that it's changed.
I think it speaks more to the talent within Microsoft and the projects that they're working on. And it's Fonz, it's basically Xbox. Look, Xbox didn't even know what to do. They bought all these studios. They started greenlighting all of them to 2018. We haven't even seen the fucking Undead Labs produce State of Decay. They had hands-off approach. They didn't know what to do. Matt Booty, I don't know how they were managing it. We'll be hands-off, let them do their shit.
I don't understand that either. But if you want to talk about Indiana Jones and say Cap, here's the problem with Indiana Jones. It's not necessarily a quality issue with Indiana Jones. What it is with Indiana Jones is it's Indiana Jones, and most younger gamers don't resonate with Indiana Jones, number one. And also, people were excited for that game when they thought it was going to be a third-person action adventure. When it came out first person, people didn't care for it. It didn't fucking sell. Didn't sell well.
But then... Look, that's just a creative decision that Machine Games decided to build a first person.
Yeah, sure.
But that's nothing to do with Game Pass.
No, that first person part is, but I'm just telling you, I'm not saying every game. Most of their games are just not of the same quality. And I do attribute that to Game Pass. It's kind of the same thing when you get like
I don't agree with
filler songs on an album. They're not quite as those good songs, but they're there just to appease the crowd. That's how I feel.
Xbox, if you want Xbox to make capture the zeitgeist of the masses, build that big AAA blockbuster that everyone's talking about, the normies even are talking about. You're like, when you see Uncharted, you see The Last of Us, you see X-Men Wolverine, you see Ghost of Yotei even, you know, not Death Stranding, but okay, fine. And there's that flavor in them. There's that AAA, you know, third-person flavor in them. You want Xbox to mimic that and have that kind of quality. But if Xbox pursues that, it does go at the cost of the variety that Xbox has, because Xbox
Could
has...
it be because it's way too expensive?
Or it's because the
Sony
studios
is
you've
spending
acquired,
a lot of money on those games.
Bro, look, okay, go through title by title and studio by studio, okay? Compulsion Games, they made We Happy Few, then they signed off on this art project, and I've seen the limit of their gameplay design with South of Midnight. No matter how much people like the story and all of that stuff, their gameplay design shows that their ceiling is very low when it comes to that. They need to fix up. Okay, what's the next studio? Okay, Doom: The Dark Ages. id Software, great game. I don't think there's any reflection of any dilution of quality because they're associated with Game Pass or Xbox. That's their product. I thought it was a great game. Not as good as Doom Eternal, I agree with you. But that doesn't show that, you know, that's a first-person game. Great game. Indiana Jones, Machine Games. Machine Games do their own games. They're really good at first-person games. They do the Wolfenstein games. And obviously, they play to their own strengths. That's...
Guys, maybe it's because I've heard some things about what's going on internally, and I was told not to say anything, so I'm not going to say much, but I will say this: there are definitely things with money being taken away from these developers
100%.
in creation of their games. I know for a fact.
Okay.
And Game Pass is a big issue because of that. Like, it happens.
I think it's a general budget kind of constraint issue as well, but I think the Xbox first party studios need to be held to account for some of the projects that they're highlighting, greenlighting, and how Microsoft's overseeing their quality control. And I think that's the positive part where I think Asher Sharma might actually change things quite considerably
is
with
a
Matt
big
Booty.
problem there. I agree 100%, but so are budgets and time.
Look,
I'm telling you, they're constricted.
Okay,
Like,
fine.
I'll talk to you off the air about that.
Okay, fine.
Thing that I just heard.
Say that they're constricted. They have not been given any budget.
Yeah.
Me going into the first party studios, I'll be like, all right, you guys are complaining about budgets, right? But you fucking picked South of Midnight, which is a niche title. You Doom, you Undead Labs. You've been sat on fucking State of Decay 3 for ages. Is it a budget issue?
I don't know
because you've
what
had
the
since
hell is
2018
going with.
to do it.
No. That is a manager issue. That is the executive manager's not coming around and doing their job above.
And Undead Labs said that. They said that they're surprised at how hands-off Microsoft was when it came to real issues like HR and talent and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is it's not just budget issue, it's the management issue. And now I feel like, and what I'm hearing, the same thing I'm hearing right now, the positive thing I'm hearing right now about Xbox is Matt Booty gets a lot of flack. Asher Sharma is much more liked. I don't know what happened with Sarah Bond. I still feel like she was thrown under the bus there, I'll be honest with you. But Sarah Bond wasn't a particularly easy person to deal with, and she had a very strong personality. Apparently, that's what I'm hearing. I want to see what... But I think she was just following the mandate.
For months.
Yeah, that's the mandate she was getting from up top. I don't know what the reality is. Ultimately, though, the management need to fix up. And that means they need to have a hard stance on their studios. And I can already start to see that happening. Because before there was frivolous, they were throwing money. Microsoft didn't even know what the fuck they were doing. Now, because it's the third biggest... As a result of Microsoft gaming being the third biggest revenue generator for Microsoft as a company, you're going to now get a lot more scrutiny, which is the reason why we see some of these policies which I believe have failed, like the multi-plat strategy. But now things are going to change. Now I feel like, well, they have to change or it fails. So you're going to get much more management oversight. Matt Booty is under massive pressure, and so Asher Sharma's going to be under massive pressure, and the first-party studios are going to be under massive pressure for the first time, and that's what I'm hearing as well. There's a lot of discontent with Xbox staff in these studios about how Xbox seemingly had faith in the gaming space, then pulled their budgets, like you mentioned, from these studios, cut redundancies, all sorts, and now are coming back. And now saying, look, we are into gaming. AI stuff was a regrettable distraction. Believe us, we're in there. So now they have an uphill battle to try and convince these developers that, look, we're actually in here to stay. But we're going to keep an eye out on you. And we want to make sure that you deliver. So it's going to be a very hard environment. But at the same time, finally, after a whole generation of meandering soft touch here and there, let's scissor each other, blah, 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 they're finally starting to now treat this like a gaming business seriously, which means a lot of checks and balances. That's what it looks like. Despite that, how effectively do you run these and check these companies? That's what we need to know. Matt Booty, it's on you now. Let's see how you fucking deal with your first-party studios. But I think my perception is, after all this stuff, all the South of Midnight and all, even what you're saying, and I agree with you, what you fundamentally are trying to say is Xbox titles don't have that prestige of PlayStation and Nintendo games. And you want that prestige associated with Xbox. Like Gears of War will give, like Fable could potentially give, like Elder Scrolls could give. These are big IPs. The potential is there. And I don't know if Wolfenstein, which has already been greenlit, will do that. But then there's next not Star Citizen. I was going to say my fucking brain is dead. StarCraft from Blizzard is going to be coming back. Overwatch 2 is already fixing up by becoming Overwatch 1. Blizzard are fixing up because they've been given, like, they're starting to settle down. It took so long. But that kind of prestige has the potential to come back. I want to see that happen.
But again, I go back to the budgets and I say, can they afford to really make those types of bangers put into Game Pass day one? Like, will it? Because I mean, you look at all the money they spend on COD and their projections, and they completely freaking don't even hit the mark when it's within Game Pass. I mean, both the last two, like I said, they lost almost $1 billion in the last two CODs alone. I just don't see that being very sustainable, and I think that's why personally, for me, I would rather do without a Game Pass. I would rather see them really deliver on big games and really cut the fat and not even put out games like South of Midnight or Avowed.
Yep.
I really wouldn't.
I'm there with you, bro. As much as I like a variety, and I love variety, and I'm not saying that they should lose that. Absolutely not. You'll have your titles like from Rare or from, what's it called? From Double Fine. Let them do their things. They're there for your variety. They're there for your little weirdo, like weird artsy-fartsy games of variety. You can do that. But have your big AAA studios, like your statement pieces, now start to produce stuff. Lutrons with a 20 super chat. Thank you. He goes, how does Microsoft Studios deal with the 30% profit margin if they go exclusive? Lutrons, how do they get the 30% profit margin if it's a Game Pass? Can they hit those 30% profit margins with Game Pass? That's a good... I know I morphed that question there, but then Fonz is right. It's Game Pass. Game Pass is being a problem. How can you have 30% profit margin and have Game Pass exist in the same space? Now... You
know how you do that? You have to grow exponentially. You have to grow Game Pass. And how do you grow Game Pass?
Exclusive.
You have to have the titles that... You have to have exclusive titles that appeal to a broader audience.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. You've got people in the chat that may love Avowed. I liked Outer Worlds 2, but I can see that these games don't appeal to the mass audience. I can feel it when I play the game. I know why it doesn't.
Yeah, but Fonz, are you in danger of making games that just feel of the mass audiences? Then taking away from the you're catering for the Justin Bieber fans. No.
You don't have to kill all of them. You could have variety.
Yeah.
But you need to spend the money and make some good fucking bangers that appeal to a broader audience. There's no excuse not to. Nintendo does it. Sony does it. Why can't Xbox?
Oh shit! I missed 2 super chats. Sorry, Jacob. Sorry for missing your super chats here. What if Microsoft made Game Pass a la carte, $10 to $15 per tier? What do you say to that, Fonz? If they have a $10 to $15 per tier,
I still don't like the subservice model. I don't like it.
For PlayStation Plus users, says Perfect Mage 89. Thank you for the super chat.
Go back to sales. That's how you get the 30%. You make some bangers and you freaking go back to sales.
For PlayStation
And
Plus
that's
users,
not to say that Game Pass isn't profitable. Yes, it's profitable. I know they're making money off of it. But if they were truly to invest in more better games, they could sell and make more money.
bro, why have the 30% margin in the fucking first place? Who's imposed this crazy margin? Sony and Nintendo
Well,
don't
that's
have
insane. That's insane. That was purposely put in place. I don't know if it's even there now, guys. I think that was purposely put in place when Phil and Sarah were there, just to freaking see them fail.
that. Yeah, I
know.
feel like that's what's put there to set them up to fail to enact this change. I feel like there's some more to that. That 30% thing seems really unreasonable. If Nintendo and Sony don't have Nintendo and fucking Sony don't have it, then that's mad. That's mad. So I think that 30% there needs revision there, because what the fuck are you at this point? You're like, right, then only Fonz's point of having mass bangers that have wide appeal is the only way you can do it. So Fonz's spot on there. Perfect Image 89. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Because for PlayStation Plus users, they have Ubisoft in most first-party titles. Do they have first? I mean, PlayStation's not even releasing that many first-party titles like they used to. I'll be honest with you. Like, they're very few and far between. So, PlayStation Plus is just there to play online. I don't think of PlayStation Plus.
And to play some older titles too, and then they get those staggered releases and stuff like that, but they're profitable with that, and I understand, because they still have that archaic business model of having to pay to play online. So does Xbox still, but hopefully they get rid of that, especially going into this hybrid console.
Yeah, I don't see how they work. I don't think how they'll work.
I don't know.
I don't know how it works. Before we move on, so we got some gameplay. IGN, shout out to IGN, those pieces of shit. I'm using their footage.
Oh my God.
I'm using their footage right now, like, you pieces of shit. They had some Forza Horizon 6 footage. They got some exclusive footage, and it's not going down well, because as you can see, you're seeing this gameplay and they're driving through Japan and it looks very barren. And everyone was asking, where's the traffic?
I wonder if the traffic was toned down.
It was. So they confirmed that the developers said that we turned it off just for the purposes of this. Which I thought was
just say the bit rate was horrible. The bit rate was awful. It looked muddy.
Yeah,
that's not the way it's going to look.
That's why IGN is so crap, man. Like, what the hell are you guys doing?
They did the same thing with Outer Worlds too. They just, I don't know. They upload with the shittiest.
It's a 4K thing I'm playing on screen right now, and it's
4K 30. It's only 30 as well.
Is it 30?
But you know how it is when you're a content creator. There's bit rates you can upload. And if you upload in a shitty bit rate, it doesn't matter if it's 4K. It's going to look like ass. I
got like a shitty 1080 camera. I upload a 4040p, but I've maxed out the bit rate. If Playground Games have given me a title and an exclusive to show off, I'm not going to take the piss. I'm going to show it in the proper light of its game. I'm going to have max bitrate. This is what I'm saying. Bloated organization. IGN suck. That's why Insider Gaming. Yeah.
Hey. Before we get too deep into the weeds, I just want to get back to the Xbox thing, because I think Boba Fett brought up a great point. He said, Blade art direction is my biggest concern given gamers' taste. And he's 100% right. Okay. When we heard they were going to make Blade, we were excited. And I think Blade has the potential to be a fucking banger until I saw the art style. And then I was like, oh, it's cartoon art style. All right. I don't think that's going to sell very well.
So that's a creative direction. That's not.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a creative direction, but it's one that I'm just like, why? Why did they do that?
Because that's what they want to build, though.
The first time, but then you have to go back to the management and be like, why weren't you in the studios here and going, hey, can we make this look better?
Well, that's dangerous now. Now you're going too far, Fonz. Now you're dictating what these developers build.
No. I think if I'm spending money on something and I look at something and I know it's not going to sell for me, I'm going to be fucking infuriated. infuriated with how something looks. I'm going to be upset. That's my money.
Look, yeah, it's a fine balance.
That's the way I look at it.
There's a creative space, Font. You can't go ahead and just say, right, it's a tough act to follow. But and in the creative space...
Yeah, no, it is. I get what you're saying. Yeah, of course you want developers to make what they want to make. Of course. But then choose not to frickin' push that game and publish it. Choose not to. That's that simple. Oh, that's what you're making? Go ahead and find somebody else. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't do that.
PlayStation greenlit that Horizon co-op game. That looks like Fortnite.
Yeah, and good luck. Well, Herman Holst is such a freaking cuck for Horizon. You know that's his darling.
I don't know why.
Horizon is his baby because, you know, he came from Guerrilla Games. So anything Horizon, he thinks Horizon is their biggest franchise over there, which I disagree with him.
I disagree as well. I feel like it's been weighted because of the way it's like... And the next Horizon game will be a launch title for PlayStation 6 bundled in, and everyone was going to be like, yeah, look at the numbers of this game. But I just don't think it has that...
Preston, I think this... I think the same thing is for Marathon. I think it's too cartoony looking for me. I don't like the look of it. I think Arc looks so much better than Marathon.
For me, Marathon's art style in terms of its CGI and the art style, if they could replicate that in the actual game, it would be fucking amazing. But the game is actually...
Oh, the CGI version of it? Oh. Yeah, that looks incredible.
Bro, the CGI version looks crazy. And then you look at the freaking gameplay.
And then you get in and your Roblox, your blocky freaking characters running around.
Yeah, like it's so... I mean, there are bits where it does look nice, but they're few and far between. Yeah. And yeah, it's just like...
And there are bits where you go into and you're like, what the fuck am I playing? Fall Guys?
Yeah. Like
there's just these orange boxes everywhere and you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. The game apparently is rated for Xbox One and PS4 as well. So what the fuck? This game's going to be running on Xbox One and PS4. That's so fucking lame if they do that. They might end up doing it because the numbers aren't that great on Steam if they're an indication of what the wider players are on console either. But we'll see what happens. But ultimately, it's a tricky question. It's an interesting debate that we have here about the challenges that the Xbox team have in terms of building a brand that has the panache to stand ahead with toe-to-toe with Sony and Nintendo. I just feel like you can't obviously stifle creativity too much, but you have to have a hard question on quality control.
But you know what, Eastside Vandal, you bring up a good point. He says, Cuphead would like to have a word with you. See, therein lies a situation where it makes sense for that art style, and it's beautiful, okay? And it's a great game. I love Cuphead. However,
why not?
Blade, when you think Blade, you think ultra violence, you think blood, you think freaking gore, and then you see a cartoon and you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
You were almost there, Xbox.
But
you were almost there.
They could make it good.
I'm saying.
They could potentially make it good.
Look at Wolverine. You see him freaking using his claws up through the neck, up through the freaking head and stuff, and you're just like, and it looks ultra freaking cool and like that could have been Blade. We could have had that for Blade. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they can make what they want, but you don't have to fucking publish it on your box. You don't have to freaking spend the money there. You could just be like, look, we'll look elsewhere.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a company who denied Marvel games back in the day when they were offered Marvel games.
Yeah.
But you accept this one with this art style? I don't get it. Like, who's greenlighting that? This is a total manager thing. Who greenlit that? Who said, yes, let's go after that one? That's all I'm saying.
Well, I would hope, I don't know if this has happened, but I would hope that, management came in and said, all right, okay, so you're using the Blade property, that obviously the licensing is not cheap, and you're going with this art style. Can you explain to us why you've elected for this? Because a lot of people may be expecting a lot more, because when they think Blade, they think violence. Like Wolverine, you think violence. Yeah. And somehow, despite the fact that, Marvel license, you can't go too ultra violent. In this game, they've managed to figure out a way where the blood is even though they're cyborgs, so that's how they've done it, right? That's how they've justified it. That's how they greenlit it. But they've made it happen. It's not a game that looks like it's holding back, punching, pulling. You see blood all the time. Every few seconds, you'll just see bits of blood coming out in this game. Blade is one of the most violent things you'll see on screen. Like, it is one of the most violent. You expect Blade 2.
And the original Blade is one of my favorite Marvel flicks, period. I love Blade.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Blade is fucking ridiculous.
Wesley Snipes, man, he freaking nailed that character.
Bro, Wesley Snipes is Blade. That's how, sometimes it's that's what I loved about Wolverine X, the Deadpool movie, and he's in it. And he's like, I'm Blade, motherfucker. He's the real Blade. And without him, fucking Blade fucking fails. Look at this G. He's a boss up in here. Bro. If you're gonna get away from the violence, then you're gonna have a hard push to justify it. The burden is on the studio. Who's the studio again? I fucking forgot. Arcane Leon is producing it.
It's Arcane Leon. Yeah. Now, look, I'm not gonna say that the game is not gonna be good at all or anything. That's not my point. I'm speaking when we're talking about games that appeal to broader audiences.
Yeah.
That sell well across the board, across platforms. I don't know how well this is going to do because of that art style and because of their past with other games they've chosen to publish and put on Game Pass and stuff. Not all the games, but there are quite a few games that have funky art styles that don't appeal to many gamers.
No, I agree with you.
And that's what I question. It's like you are a company that has a lot of variety in games, yes, but you are lacking in one direction, which is the more realistic looking third-person action adventures. You are missing that element. You tried with Hellblade 2, but you kind of failed because there wasn't much in the way of combat or anything. It was not a lot of gameplay. It was more a art piece of look at how good these graphics look. And it was beautiful, but it was boring to me.
Yeah.
Boring to a lot of people.
I mean, I'm watching this right now with Blade, and it's very comic book style. So
yeah, it's a comic.
And I think that could work. I really want it to work. It's Blade. I want it to be good.
I want it to work too because it's Blade. But again, I don't know if it speaks to more people.
It could work.
I don't know. We'll see.
Shout out to Rambling and Tay with a 5. If Mystic ends up being a machined woman with alopecia, it's better stays as exclusive as possible. Mystique he's talking about. If Mystique ends up being a machined woman with alopecia, it better stay as exclusive as possible to PS5. Oh, man-chinned, sorry. Man-chinned. This is where everyone's going to fucking look at the designs quite a bit. It's something to do a little bit weird design. I'm not going to lie. That fucking design of Mary Jane was fucking atrocious in Spider-Man 2.
Oh, my God.
That chin could fucking destroy things, bro. Like, that was Jay Leno with a wig.
What was crazy, though, is she looked fine in the first.
I know.
Why did they change it?
You know why they changed it. Let's not go into that fucking conversation.
You got to start looking at how many blue hairs worked at the studio. How many blue hairs worked at the studio? How many blue hairs? Yeah, I know.
Blade looks like Sifu. Yeah, Preston, that was what I was thinking of. That could really work if it was like Mansion. No, Insomniac do this fucking weird thing. And that kind of mandate needs to die in the West. I know that, like, that's a topic that you get the polarized.
It's sensitive.
It's sensitive. You've got the freaking because a dickheads like Grums and freaking that Ian Miles Shong that looks like a freaking car crash.
And the other guy and the
grifters in that space, and Andy Pants and all of these guys. They've taken over the debate. So when we talk about it, or when I talk about it, I'm like, this fucking design is stupid.
Yeah.
Just get murked. I'm like, look at that fucking design.
Yeah, they lump us into the same group, and it's like, no, I'm definitely not like that. Because I'm not one to say, I don't think there's a space for any of that in gaming. They are.
Yeah.
I just say, just make it make sense.
Yeah,
if you're
exactly.
Gonna do it, make it make sense. That's what I want.
Yeah. And the mandate has been ridiculous. Like the whole hair thing, everyone's fat and all of this shit. Let the woman become a little bit chubby. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like I get it. You know what I think? The developers have the wives out there. They're like, fucking, what are you doing? Why are you building on this like big tit woman? And I guess maybe it's a balancing act.
I wonder what the wives are like for game science when they were making Stellar Blade.
Oh,
They're like,
bro. They're like, what the fuck? It's this culture. It's a different culture, but it's a more recent phenomenon in the West where the designs are being dictated, or like they have to hit. Like Microsoft had a policy.
Yeah.
Oh, not overlize, sexualize women. No, this and that. That was a policy of Microsoft. That's confirmed. And that kind of shit is it's kind of the stuff that takes away from the creativity of it. So on the other end of the scale, like Microsoft was imposing its creative standards, and that's a danger there as well. Like it goes to show on the opposite end of the scale.
Shift Up. That's right. Not Game Science. Game Science is somebody.
Shift Up. Yeah.
Isn't Game Science?
Black Myth. Isn't it Black Myth?
Black Myth Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
So, Shift Up.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. Another game
Thank you, Tarnished Gamer. I appreciate that.
Thank you for there's someone's gonna clip that. Gonna, oh, you didn't even know what that was. We're like, oh, bro, we're speaking live on multiple.
And we're talking about so many different publishers and developers and
shit. And then looking at chat and then balancing that.
It happens.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm old as fuck. You know, and
too.
I own it.
Hashtag me too.
I own it.
A game that didn't get to be old as fuck is Highguard. Highguard is about to die. They've announced it. Sadly.
Sadly.
Well, for the developers.
You're sad? Oh, I thought you were sad. I thought you were upset.
I played the game. I thought it was a solid game. I told people, don't just write it off, try it. It's free to play. And it's a solid idea.
You were fair about it. You were like, yeah, it's okay, but it doesn't have legs.
Yeah, exactly. It was obvious. And that's why I'm shocked at how studios actually go ahead and greenlight this stuff, because it is what it is. Highguard got masses of negative, murkages, or like coverage from the moment, because and I made check out Insider Gaming. Go on Insider Gaming's YouTube and check out my video on it, talking about being very serious about why it failed, and unfortunately, it came from a very talented group of individuals, the guys who made Apex Legends and Titanfall. The problem is, and this is where I think the lack of Vince Zampella affected them, because Vince, bless his soul, was very talented, and he knew how to. One of the rare people in the AAA space where it had the talent and also had the right calls on stuff. And what to make. And I feel like, because this is coming from a group that without Vince's input decided that, look, going high on delivering Apex Legends and Titanfall, we can shadow drop. Remember, this was supposed to be originally a shadow drop until Jeff Keighley said, hey, I love this. Let me put this as the final game. They didn't even pay for that promotional slot that would cost a fair few million for anyone else who wanted to show their game at the final Game Awards. These guys got the grace of Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley, bless his heart, backed this studio and said, look, I have faith in you. I played this game. It's fucking amazing. It's going to be great. If it was me playing that game, I would have told them, this game is really fun, but there's some serious issues. How are you going to stand out in front of a sea of hero shooters like that? Also, I don't think your aesthetic helps at all, because it's not an aesthetic I like. I don't think a lot of people gravitate towards this high fantasy thing as well. And how aggressive is your content roadmap? Because you're going to need something very, very aggressive to get people to be playing this game. Unfortunately, despite all their talent, they've made the wrong call. They spent years on it, and then they ended up with a skeleton crew after mass layoffs to try and make it work, and they just had like 500 players and whatnot, and that's kind of crazy, that they have, like hardly any numbers. They put so much work into it, millions spent, lost, and then they said, look, as a final thing, I think there's like one more week left of Highguard. There's a final bit of content as a goodbye. And it's kind of sad, because this, unlike Concord is very different. But Gas, how is Concord different? Concord is a game by committee, where they were chasing Overwatch. They had no real unique ideas whatsoever. They just thought, let's just make an Overwatch clone. And they built all of these. The character designs were absolutely atrocious. They felt a full-on committee checklist was done there. There's no bright ideas whatsoever. At least this was trying to do something different with the mounts, with the whole kind of base element of it. There's something unique, but they obviously overestimated the appeal of that. And you could tell this is a talented group. They have a proven track record, these developers, of what their old games were. But it's dead. It joins a sea of dead games now. Live service dead games.
I think the biggest crime here is actually the fact that these developers, they still didn't take responsibility up until the very end. Like they still blame the gamers for this game not succeeding, instead of just acknowledging that, hey, we just weren't good enough. Yeah. And that's going to be a reality check for them. I think that in this space, you know, just being good is just not enough anymore. You need, especially in that multiplayer space, you have to knock it out of the park day one. I mean, absolutely. It's the same thing we're seeing from Marathon. Yeah. Them coming out with the server slam and you saying it's different than it is in the server slam now that it's been launched. It doesn't matter. They fucked up that first showing. It just upset a lot of people and they left. Yeah, so,
man. That's fundamentally important, man. You can't fuck up like that. You just can't afford to do these things. The first, you can't. It's hyper competitive. So,
Boba Fett, name a great game that failed.
There's a few. Titanfall 2. I'm sorry, that failed. That's from the same people who made Highguard. Titanfall 2 got murked because it got pushed sandwiched between Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Oh, you're talking about the yeah. See, I only played the campaign, and I love the campaign, and I know a lot of people played the campaign.
Titanfall 2 is a prime example of many games, great games that have failed, by the way. But Titanfall 2 definitely failed. It's a masterpiece of a game, and it failed. Yeah. And a lot of people excuse it because
sold like 10 million copies back then. So I mean, did it really fail? I guess the multiplayer
absolutely
aspect.
Failed. It's absolutely known as regarded as a failed title. An excellent title, critically lauded, incredible game, incredible. I loved the multiplayer. I sunk hours into the first game, sunk days into the second game. Multiplayer was great. So much scope for even more for Titanfall 3, which you will never get because Vincent Pella is no more.
Yeah.
And he was the creative.
It sucks, man, because he was one of the only guys in the industry that had his finger on the pulse of the gamer. Yeah, he actually fucking knew games.
Bro,
he knew fucking games.
In the AAA space, bro, he even took on fucking Battlefield and brought it back. It's like, what the fuck? And now he's gone. There's no, even if Titanfall comes back, it's not going to be the same because Vincent Pella is a genius. He created Modern Warfare. He changed the landscape of multiplayer gaming. And Titanfall 2 was this bro, I'm just grateful it exists. I hope they I don't know what the player numbers were so bad for this. And it didn't have it didn't have crossplay. That's the problem,
dude.
And they killed the player.
See, I never got into the multiplayer aspect of Titanfall, but I loved the campaign a lot. That campaign was awesome.
The campaign was beautiful. The multiplayer was beautiful. This kind of the smooth gameplay, wall running, all the movement based stuff.
I'm surprised that didn't do well. That looked really good.
This was an example of the way, ironically, this is one of those examples where Xbox, with its, which I hated, they did this, but Xbox had a marketing. They completely swept up the marketing exclusivity rights last minute before even Respawn knew about it. They struck a deal with EA to do this timed exclusive. When you talk about Microsoft's goodwill in this space, and I wrote an article on it saying this is bullshit. You shouldn't have done that. It's a brand new IP. It needs to thrive. But the funny thing is, Titanfall 1 did thrive massively because Xbox got the exclusivity factor. Think about that, right? Exclusivity doesn't matter as a marketing beat, yet Xbox have massively benefited from the association with Titanfall.
Dude, back in the day, Xbox
and it did better than Titanfall 2.
Killing, and they sold a lot of consoles on exclusivity, and that's why I just think they need to go back.
They absolutely need to come back. At least fucking make the space interesting again. At least have some value in the space. I'm sorry, don't just become a third-party publisher. It's boring. At least put Sony, keep them at their toes. Because right now, they don't give a
Sony,
shit.
Did you hear that story that Sony tried to buy out Crimson Desert exclusivity?
Yes, they did. They did try to buy out Crimson Desert exclusivity.
So and they denied it. I mean, but look, they were trying to compete there. They were trying to take one of the most anticipated games of 2026 and keep it to themselves. I want that fight back on both sides. I'm sorry.
I don't want third parties.
I know some of you may not like it. I don't care. Look, I want them to go at it. And yes, I want them to innovate more than anything, but I think exclusives are what drives the sales for hardware.
Yes.
And I want hardware to stick around. That is the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Like, people that say, I want to see Xbox die, you're retarded because you need competition.
Absolutely. Absolutely you do. Trust me, we are right on this.
And I know even Sony guys, they talk a lot of shit, but they'd rather see competition than not.
I think a lot of PlayStation guys who talk about exclusivity don't give a fuck about competition. It's more one-upmanship. Most PlayStation guys I've seen PlayStation guys back all sorts of bullshit.
Some of them, but I don't think they're all like that. I think they like competition.
I think a few do, but a lot of it, I've seen the same kind of
because
mentality
they know
of Xbox
that it
guys.
drives their own favorite brand to push. They know it.
Look. If Xbox came back to exclusivity, do you know how much energy there would be in the space? How much galvanized competition there would be in the space? The industry would finally benefit from a player that isn't just calling it in and relying on the audience from its previous competitor to supplement its sales. Now it has a drive. Now think about the pressure that would be on Asher Sharma. You're like, whoa, you're going to bring back console exclusives? So you're basically around PC and console only. And not PlayStation? That means you need to fucking get your shit together. You really need to. And how are you going to make Xbox... It would send shockwaves. It would send shockwaves throughout the entire industry. And it would be a statement. A lot of people were like, what the fuck? Are you stupid? Are you idiots? Are you guys tried again and failed and then you gave up and now you're going to retry again? And you're going to have that narrative. You'll have the doubters. That's how much your legacy has caused up and your failures have caused up to this narrative, that this is what a reasonable response would be for a lot of people. But then at the same time, other people observing the decision would be like, wow, you guys are fucking serious now. Like, that would be like, oh shit, Asher Sharma, what? That instantly would change the reception of this woman in the immediacy of things. So like, right. Xbox is fucking serious with a bespoke bit of hardware. I'm not saying it's going to happen because it's so ludicrous based on everything.
Dog in the chat, he's got my back with this. Xbox need to stop making mild games, he says. I don't know if you meant mid or whatever, but look, they do need to start making some fucking bangers and make them exclusive. That's how you fucking compete. That's how you sell consoles. You guys know it. Even the Xbox fanboys that are just so diehard Xbox, they see that the console is not selling anymore.
Yep.
And they're okay with it. Why are you okay with that? You should want them to compete. You should want that because it'll continue the legacy of Xbox, continue more consoles down the line. I don't know why anybody would be against competition. I just don't see it.
This will be the Xbox's last console, one way or the other.
But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Make some fucking games that appeal to a broader audience. I'm telling you, make them exclusive again. You will sell consoles. And because if you look at what they're doing with this PC hybrid, this thing can appeal to PC gamers as well. Because let's be real.
Absolutely.
If these specs are anywhere close to what they're supposed to be, the rumored specs, it's better than 90% of the gamers on PCs rigs out there. It's better by a lot. And so they could look at it and say, hey, I could get my Steam games there and I can get Xbox games. Look, they're starting to have exclusive games that are bangers. I can get those as well.
Yep.
Of course it would sell. But again, you need to change a lot there at Xbox. Asha has a tall task. This is fucking hard what she has to do.
Yeah.
I don't envy her at all, but good luck. I hope she does the right thing.
Absolutely. I hope she does. And you know what? Fucking, if she doesn't, then Xbox is going to do what we all expect it to. It's kind of fade into the distance, fade into the space. And I don't know.
And a lot of people expect like, oh, what'll happen to them is their consoles will fizzle out after this generation. No more consoles from them. But they're still a big publisher. They still own some big, studios that they're still going to continue making games. And they'll probably get rid of a lot of the smaller studios and just, sell the sure bets and just sell games.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't want that. I don't want that. Because then it just leaves Sony to themselves. Because I know we have Nintendo, but they're a separate entity. They do what the fuck they want over there. They don't really compete. Sony will be left, the only ones there, and what's going to push them to innovate and put, make even better games?
What will do?
There's nothing
nothing
there to push that.
Nothing. Just internal
and
targets.
then they could dictate. They can dictate pricing. They could dictate everything across the board when it comes to console gaming.
Because they'd essentially be a monopoly in this
And nobody
space.
has a choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nobody will have a choice.
Absolutely.
That's why you need Xbox to stick around.
Absolutely. And in a meaningful way.
They can't. Yeah, consoles won't stick around for Xbox if they don't have exclusivity. That's it.
Yeah, simple as.
That's
Simple
it.
as. This week we also saw Fonz. We saw freaking Resident Evil Requiem just kill it. 5 million copies sold already, man. I want to play this, but I'm still in the middle of Chronos. But
it looks incredible.
Bro, this game, and on PC with freaking path tracing. Amazing. This game is so well optimized. It's one of those examples for the benefit of having a bespoke engine like Crimson Desert, and what it can do, because this game was optimized well, even to run on a Nintendo Switch well. And people are loving the game, man. I saw a clip of iShowSpeed when Leon Kennedy comes out, and there's music sound. It just happens to coincidentally coincide with the way he enters and the text comes in. And it's like, oh, right, like Resident Evil has caught the zeitgeist. This game I think this had like 300,000+ concurrent users on Steam. So people saying, oh, single player games don't, PC gamers don't buy and support games. Like, bruh, fucking PC support was massive. Capcom have come out and said 50% of their purchases for Capcom games as a whole are on PC. The PC space is massive, which just makes it all the more interesting that Sony is kind of receding away from the PC space. Very interesting, because those are numbers that, as a publisher, the Japanese publishers.
But that's a new game, and Sony staggers their release by a couple of years.
So
or
do
a
you
year
think?
and a half.
Do you think the
it's
staggering
different.
is the reason why PlayStation games don't sell on PC as well?
Yeah, 100%. Yes, but they're not going to do that and threaten their own ecosystem. They want their console to thrive, so it would be a double-edged sword for them. Yeah,
And
they'd
now
make
with the
more
next
money, but
Xbox
their
coming
console would
in.
eventually deteriorate.
They don't
Their
have that
sales
balance.
would
Yeah.
dwindle.
If I was Sony,
And eventually, with the prices the way they're getting right now with consoles, they're almost comparable to buying a PC. So what are people going to do in the future if everything was day and date? Everybody will be on fucking PC eventually. And I don't want that world. I think we need the competition.
yeah, then it'll just be like publishers fighting each other here and there, and then it's like, oh yeah, everyone's fighting for everyone's time. I hear that all the time, but now you have platform level competition where these platform levels, now you've got Asher Sharma and all of these people. If that was the case, they would be fighting toe to toe. If Xbox suddenly brought back exclusives, there are no Western RPGs for PlayStation All your Elder Scrolls, your Outer Worlds, your Starfields, all of that, they wouldn't have that. They wouldn't have Fable. They wouldn't have these Western RPGs. They would be stuck. So PlayStation will have to have an answer for that. First-person shooters, what do they have? They wouldn't have Doom. They wouldn't have Wolfenstein. They wouldn't have all these titles. What do? They just sit back and take it? No, Sony can't just sit. It's the reason why they greenlit so many multiplayer games on the PS3 gen. They tried with Killzone 2. They tried and hit a 92 meta. They just gave up after they failed, which is why they need to get clapped back to having no faith in their IP. So, like, look, bro. Halo is the reason why Killzone exists, and it's the reason why Killzone 2 had so much pressure to reveal the PS3 console to show what the power of this thing is. Showed incredible visuals that to this day, Killzone 2 looks incredible. And that was because of competition, because that's the reason why it existed and why they went so hard in the paint. Even Killzone Shadowfall, it was terrible. Gameplay was weak, but visually it was fucking strong. And now they need to fix up. They should have done it, but they've abandoned it for Horizon, which has no personality at all. And that's the PlayStation you've given a green light to. A PlayStation that will double down on remasters and remakes, and you guys all fucking loved it. God of War 2 and 3, God of War 1, 2, and 3, yeah! And then fucking, you got how many Last of Us is Naughty Dog sat out the entire generation, yeah! And then what the fuck, who's gonna be the studio that bails on these remakes? Oh no, it's gonna be Santa Monica, yeah! And then we're gonna kill the Blue Point, yeah! And then what the fuck is Nexus gonna do, yeah! Welcome to PlayStation, that the lack of competition has given a green light for them to fucking coast their way through, and you pricks are going to sit there and say exclusivity is not important, and this is that. Okay, great. Welcome to the landscape of gaming. You don't want any interest in the space. We're just a bunch of console warring guys who love logos and don't give a fuck about clothes. Anytime we have observed competition, we are supposed to fucking go Ray Charles and go la 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 la. Idiots. You are wrong in this space. 100% wrong. And despite all my trolling, hand on my heart, I want fucking competition. If Xbox bow down, get someone else in here. But it's too late. Too late for a new console entrant.
It's unfortunate, but
it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But going back to Resident Evil 9, it is one of those games that I've said that Resident Evil isn't really my franchise anymore. I like the old ones. The last one I played that I enjoyed anyway was Resident Evil Veronica, way back on
Code Veronica. I played on the Dreamcast. Love that shit. Yeah. Loved it.
After that, I tried to play the Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
And I thought it was okay. I beat the game. I was fine with it. Then I tried Resident Evil 7 years later. And I couldn't get into it.
I bought it. I never really played it.
The first person aspect, I couldn't really get into it. But this one has my attention just because you got Leon back. It looks like it's giving, it's like a throwback to the originals in some ways. Like some of the scenes that I've seen and watching people play it, I'm like, that kind of reminds me of the originals in a lot of ways, where the Resident Evil 7 through freaking Village and all that didn't feel like that to me. This feels like a Resident Evil game, and I'm tempted to buy this one.
I think you should buy it.
And on top of that, it looks incredible. Yeah. It looks fucking incredible.
It's going to look beast on your PC.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I know exactly what you mean.
On the Pro. No.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7. So I played Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 6 came out. It was dog shit. And no chance I was going to play that. Resident Evil 7 was a scary ass game, but it's first person. Didn't feel like Resident Evil. But I know.
Didn't feel like Resident Evil. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I bought it and I need to play it. But I need to. It's one of those games I thought, it'd be fun for me to play on a stream, and everyone says, Gaz, you need to play it. And 8. So I will play that. But I know what you mean when you say that this looks like an actual Resident Evil game. Back to the Code Veronica. It's got two. You've got I think Ash, whatever her name is. You play as her, Ashley or whatever her name is, and it's more first person and third person. Original back to the Resident Evil 2 kind of vibes, you know, you're playing. I didn't like Resident...
Yep.
I liked Resident Evil 4, and oh, actually, my battery's dying. But Resident Evil 4, I just felt like it lost...
You know, Sir Ifs a lot says, Fonz will talk an hour about Xbox when it comes to PlayStation. It's unfortunate. Look, dude, I've talked a lot about PlayStation today, and I'm telling you right now, PlayStation is... We're discussing Xbox for a reason. PlayStation is actually trying to compete again and pulling their games off of PC. That's something I want to happen. I want that to happen for Xbox as well. I'm not bashing Xbox in that regard. Yes, I've bashed some of their games and the quality, because I do honestly think the quality has slipped in years. I just do. A lot of the games, not all of them, but a lot of them just aren't something that speaks to a lot of people, and especially to me. Okay. Sales on other platforms prove that. People stopping playing the game an hour or two in prove that, even on Xbox games, Game Pass. So I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm just bashing on Xbox. Xbox is the hot topic right now. We want to see better for Xbox. There's no problem with that. There should be no issue with that.
And there's opportunities. Like, this is what I'm saying. Oh, you got Xbox guys who get annoyed at the critical discussions that I've had over the years. Like, and you gravitate towards the hardcore Xbox echo chambers. That's entirely your prerogative. But at the same time, there's a lot more value, in my opinion, in being, even if it's overbearingly critical, because you want to see some changes. Because at this point, everyone is screaming for change. And at the moment, a lot of people are feeling the energy. Why? Because they care about exclusivity. And they feel like there's a potential of that coming back, or some fundamental change coming back. And the proof is in the pudding, man. The proof is in the pudding. The podcast scene is more galvanized. People are more interested, and Xbox podcast numbers are going up as well, because they want to see. I've noticed, and Rand was telling me that Xbox podcast numbers are going all up all of a sudden, because they're quite interested in seeing some change. Because before it was just Phil Spencer and his multi-plat strategy, and it killed the vibe. Why did it kill it? Why did it kill the appeal of it? Explain that to me. It's because Xbox didn't really stand for anything at all. No matter how much you guys want to co-sign that this is an Xbox and kumbaya, all of that, all the people just being fucking little communist little peasants going, hey, yeah, it's great for everyone. You guys are the reason why Xbox is resigned to fail, because you're not giving any real feedback about what it means to be in a real player in the space, being competitive enough. So even the prospect of that coming back is great. It's just sad that Microsoft has not really proven itself to be a good, custodian of competition in the space, or even having a real commitment to the gaming space, because of the leadership changes and how they pursued AI and so on. And Microsoft's a fucking shitty $1 trillion company. But if you want the renegade spirit back, you need to build a core team of Xbox developers like Jay Allard, who created an island within Microsoft and challenged Microsoft. Not co-signing Microsoft. That's what we need to see. That's where I'm very skeptical about, because this is an appointment from Satya Nadella himself. Is it going to be an extension of Microsoft's mandate, or will they have the autonomy that Xbox needs to be granted to make it what it was before? Because that's what was responsible for the renegade spirit of their Xbox. That they flew in the face of Bill Gates himself. That he stormed out the window, out of the office when they showed him with the next Xbox.
Out the window.
Out the window. He's like, fuck, let me go jump to FC's island. Yeah. And then he jumped straight into the sun.
Let's make a vaccine. Sorry.
So, that's the reality of it. And some of you will come to terms with it. And hopefully others agree. And if you don't agree, fuck you.
And there's people here just that they look at me like a pony, just because of my previous, back in the day when I started on RDX and everything. I was primarily on PlayStation 4 because that's where I did most of my gaming. But Lutron's asked me, Fonz, where's the majority of my library? Today, this generation, it's been on Steam. It's been on Steam.
The final results, Steam, yeah, absolutely same here. Final results are in for my poll. 5,242 votes. That's not an insignificant number. 52% said Xbox should bring exclusives back.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if anyone had common sense, that would be 70 to 8%. But 52% said they want it back. And that, ladies and gentlemen, says a lot.
The problem is you get a lot of people that will just toe the line and carry whatever narrative Xbox wants or is doing at the current time. And you'll have a lot of people that are, unfortunately, influencers in the space that'll push that narrative regardless of what it is, as long as Xbox approves. It sucks, but that's the nature of fanboyism.
It is what it is.
And people call us a fanboy, and we want competition. We want to see all these companies thrive. That's not a fanboy. Fanboys want to see, oh my God, I want to see Sony fail so hard. I want them dead. That's a fanboy. People just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
5,000 views voted said that they would sacrifice Game Pass for exclusives. Right?
I would.
What's up, Epic?
I would sacrifice Game Pass for some better games being made by Xbox.
100%. Absolutely. And there is, ladies and gentlemen, the reality of what needs to be done. We said it here on the podcast. You may not agree with what we're saying, but believe me when I say this, we're right. We're going to find out in the next coming days what this Xbox Helix is going to be. How they're going to, first of all, on the tech-wise, what this thing is going to work at. The specs of the thing, because I'm seeing some ridiculously insane conjecture. Like we heard about here, those specs sound too good to be true. But if they are,
it does.
Amazing. And then we're going to find out what Asher Sharma's actually all about. At the summer showcase, whatever it is in June, you're going to see what this Renegade Spirit is. I expect Xbox to, if Xbox, you want to do this right, fuck everything else, bring back exclusives. Ben Riley with a $5 super chat says, Xbox tax is real, spreads like COVID. Nothing wrong with Game Pass. Only reason to dislike it is if you champion corporation. Ben Riley, thank you so much for that £5 super chat and proving that you are precisely the reason why Xbox is in the toilet. Fucking. Xbox tax. Did that victim mentality of yours actually help prevent? I should spam you. Did it bring Xbox anywhere? Did it take anywhere? Xbox, you could cry and go where? Did it bring Xbox? What did it do? You can cry about Xbox tax, or it could concede to the reality that basically Xbox needs to fix up.
Here's a better question. What did Game Pass do for you, for Xbox? What did Game Pass do for Xbox? It's not growing. It didn't grow their platform. So what happens when their platform leaves this space? Because they refuse to go back to exclusives and refuse to change Game Pass in a way where people would have to buy first party day and date. Unless they want to wait for a staggered system, let's say. I think it would be way more beneficial if they just did that. And people that are in love with Game Pass and everything, it's like, okay, I get it. You get a lot of games there, and it's $30 a month or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, for me personally, if I had to choose, I would rather play one really good game a year than 4 mid-ass games. I would rather have one really good fucking epic game than 4 fucking fillers. That's just the way I look at it. Because for me, that's what I'm getting out of Game Pass, or what I used to get out of Game Pass. And I don't think I'm alone. Because again, I could tell you, you can look up the stats, people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can look up the stats. People that are within that Game Pass Xbox ecosystem aren't beating the games, aren't even freaking playing but a couple of hours and dropping it. Most of their games, not all of them, most of them. It's just the way I feel.
Let's see. Zorka goes, how happy are you that console wars are back? They're not back. We're enthusing about the idea of them being back. Videos says, yeah, Septic Source, that poll is broken though. That's because Game Pass is literally 3x the price it started as. It's not the Game Pass it used to be at that price. Well, that's what it is now. So it's not broken. It's a reflection of the present. You want me to go back and pretend that the old prices imply? It makes no sense. So it's not broken. It would be broken if I said, hey, if you imagine you went back to the old days, would you like the old Game Pass? You can make a poll about that if you want. But that's the present. The present is, this is what the price is. For a reason. For the reasons maybe Fonz been mentioning about why people just don't even support the games that much and they just try it like a demo and then piss off. So, you know, obviously. Yep. Ben Riley with a £5 super chat. I don't care about Xbox. I care about playing games. I don't care about Xbox. I care playing games. Filler or non-filler, I enjoy it. I can still buy games that are bangers. You don't have to care about Xbox.
But you don't. But the majority of Game Pass gamers don't. They don't buy games. They've been conditioned not to. The majority don't buy games. They play Game Pass.
Well, get rid
and
of
you know what the proof is? Look at the sales on Xbox alone.
Yeah.
They don't sell games.
Yeah.
They're in Game Pass. Remember, I had that freaking argument with Aaron Greenberg on RDX when he came on. When I asked him about, if they're going to push their games to $70, and he said, "What does it matter if it's in Game Pass? You don't need to buy it." I hated that. I loathe that. I still think about that to this day, and I'm like, this is your mentality because you have a continuous growth, continuous revenue stream monthly, and you're making a profit off people, but you're not growing your brand enough. It's not enough. What you've got in Game Pass isn't enough to even grow Game Pass itself, let alone sell consoles. There's issues there. There's gaming issues. There's fundamental quality issues when it comes to their games.
Snowdragon goes, what is this, Crossfire? Listen, this is where we speak facts. It's not Crossfire. Zorko was on Crossfire earlier, I imagine, with Nib. That must have been fun.
Yeah. I might jump on Crossfire. Why not? Let's go.
Need some people to talk sense to jump on that show. I'm nothing against Mooch, but the people he invites on there are fucking... Yeah. But then again, we've invited some psychos here as well, so it's just like a standard.
I think we have all done that. We've all done that on our shows.
Yeah, we all have characters that everyone thinks like are very divisive.
Yeah.
Then people are like, Gaz, you can talk. You're fucking mental. I'm like, all right. Yeah, Bashi goes, you both know for a fact that Xbox can't make any good games anymore. Not really.
I don't agree with that. I don't fucking agree. I don't subscribe to this notion that you were trying to propose earlier, Gaz, about how, what studio can make a banger. I think all their studios are very capable.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what I thought you were trying to say.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, look, some of these studios have desires to make certain type of games. These studios are extremely talented. In fact, they've actually shown how malleable they are a lot more than fucking PlayStation studios, because PlayStation has more cancelled games than announced games. They couldn't do multiplayer. Naughty Dog failed. If your big studio that used to put out with dare to bring comparisons with Rockstar can't even fucking do multiplayer because they flopped it, then what happens? You put Blue Point on a God of War remake? Your studios are... What the fuck are they doing? But I'm saying, look, I definitely believe in fate.
So then you agree, then they can make some fucking bangers to sell to a mass audience.
Some of these studios absolutely can. Like Fable potentially has a potential, exactly. But it's a very busy year. The year of GTA and Wolverine, and you have all these games coming out and Crimson Desert coming out. What the fuck is going on? It's an insane year for gaming. And you've got Resident Evil, so many games coming out. This year's mad. Already, even in March, there's so many games coming out. It's mental. And you're going to have Fable dropping in there. This is a big RPG. Crimson Desert is supposed to be a massive game as well. So it's like so it may not sell that well because it's very, very, very busy in the GTA. Wolverine's got September locked in, which is a great date. 2 months before the GTA release. Mm-hmm. So what happens with Fable? When are you going to release Fable? Because Fable, you need to release soon.
Yeah, I'm worried about Fable. It's got to be
soon, man.
Because look, GTA 6 is what, November?
Yeah, November.
Is it the end or?
What is it? GTA 6 release date. I should really know this, but how disgraceful. 19th November. 19th November. Yeah.
Okay, so I would say Fable should come out at the beginning of October.
Okay, fine.
The latest.
Bashy Washy with the $5 super chat.
Because even if you say, put it out
August,
in December, I think if you put it out in December,
you're dead.
You got people still playing GTA 6.
Yeah, you can't release
that for the next freaking 2-3 months. You're gonna have GTA 6 syndrome out there.
No way. You have to do it August or September. Yeah, September is still gonna Wolverine's gonna murk you either way because Wolverine's a big popular
August
IP.
or October. August or
October's pushing it, but yeah, early October at the latest, man. Bashy Washy with a $5 super chat. Agree or disagree? There's no chance that a Western studio can create good games. Microsoft has mandated the safe modern audience style. I mean, I enjoyed freaking what you didn't like the Doom, the Dark Ages. You don't like Forza's racing games. Is this like the woke kind of like? I don't know. Maybe
I've heard some of these mandates have been pulled back in Microsoft. That's what I've heard.
Those mandates don't exist like they used to. No.
But I still believe they can make a good. I think Elder Scrolls 6 might be phenomenal.
Bro,
I really do.
You have to understand, under the Xbox banner now, fucking Blizzard falls into that as well. And you're telling me that new StarCraft game could be fucking sick? Or Elder Scrolls? Or there's loads there. Even Clockwork Revolution looks amazing. So you're telling me that? But it depends. Bashi, I think you come from the Onos Alex
even better,
kind of group.
It would look even better exclusive, right? It would look even better exclusive.
I don't think they're good for looks there. That kind of dev.
No.
In Exile, really? Yeah, in Exile, I'm really known for that. But the game looks nice stylistically. But yeah.
It's a lot like BioShock. So it's an acquired taste, but it's one that a lot of people like. Loads of people love BioShock.
It screams BioShock, and it seems like a really good game. Like, do you remember the freaking gameplay trailer? It looks amazing.
It's not just because a lot of people take what I said earlier out of context when I'm talking about quality of game and mentioning art style. It's not just art style. You've got the mechanics and the feel of the game and everything. That's all very important. And if it's solid on Clockwork, that's what fucking matters right there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Bro.
And it looks fun. All the different guns and everything and the swapping of, all the parts and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Semen, really.
Yeah, no.
Where at? I'm here.
This game looks really good. Like, again, I'm not expecting a big seller, though, Font. This flies in the face of what you're saying about the big bangers. It's not going to be a big banger. Let's be honest.
Probably not, but you don't know. I don't know. It may speak to a lot of PC folk out there.
Would you green light this if you're the head of Xbox?
Which one?
This
Clockwork?
game, Clockwork Revolution. Sorry, it's on screen right now. Yeah.
Yes, Clockwork. Yes.
Yeah. It's whimsical style and realistic thing won't bother you.
No, and that's what I was trying to say a few minutes ago. It's not just about art style with me. It's about the feel of it. Like when you play Outer Worlds 2. It's not just the look of it, it's the feel of it. It feels dated. Like a 360 game.
Oh, right, okay.
It feels dated.
Yeah. Fair enough. I feel like the question, I feel like this might feel a little bit dated as well. I don't know, but at the same time.
I don't know. We have to see until we get it in our hands.
It's one of those.
We won't know until we get it in our hands. Like anytime you see a shooter and stuff, like I see some people go, "Oh my God, that looks horrible," and I'm like, "How do you know?" Like I played shooters where I thought it didn't look very good, but then when I played it, I was like, "Holy shit, this feels great!"
Yeah.
And I've had the opposite where I'm like, that looks incredible, and I play it and I'm like, God damn, these controls suck.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like with machine games, I for some reason it just feels too floaty. That's why I never liked the Wolfenstein games. It's just something about it. It kind of glided through, and it just made me feel a little bit ill, which is weird because I come from the whole id Engine, Quake 3 kind of arena, so that was really odd to me. It's just the way, very specific to my issue. But yeah, I think this game is going to be. I mean, the game looks really good. It looks.
Why does this Xbox has no games guy constantly? Every once in a while, he just posts PS5 1 and posts the little trophy. It just every once in a while I see it. I just glance at the chat and I see PS5 1. It's funny.
The guy has a whole account called Xbox One.
Oh, has no games. God damn. They have games. They just don't have enough bangers. Yeah, that's all.
They need more. It might come. That's what she said.
I'm hoping Fable is one of them. I really am. Like Zocker tells me all the time, like, I don't think that one's gonna land, but I'm hoping it does, because fuck, it looks good, you know.
I feel like it should. I feel like it should. It's just such a. And look, I'm playing the Fable trailer, and it's on the PlayStation channel. That's fucking amazing. But it's it's crazy.
That is fucking wild. You picked the PlayStation trailer.
It's right at the top.
Fable.
It's right at the top.
Damn.
Fucking play Xbox. I mean, I hope this game doesn't get buried. You get Star Family. This is like old Fable, but just take it to another level.
That's another thing too. When we talk about Xbox, we complain about the lack of marketing, and they do lack marketing. I agree, but I think nowadays with traditional marketing, it's not as necessary to go all out and be excessive with it. Kind of like, I would say, oh, here's something negative I'll say about Sony, for the guy who was saying I don't talk enough about Sony. I think they do too much with marketing sometimes. I think they overspend on traditional marketing where they don't need to. Because I think if you build a great game and you put it out there and influencers are playing it, and word of mouth is way more than fucking traditional marketing. Like, I just have a feeling.
We see that with that fucking game today with what the fuck, Slay the Spire 2.
Yeah.
Slay the Spire 2, literally 24-hour peak of 526,000 players.
Yeah.
What marketing
is that?
Where was
the marketing for that?
I didn't even know they existed until the word of mouth. Clearly, fucking crazy.
Word of mouth, man. That's the ultimate marketing. And you know, when you get these big influencers playing these games, that is better than fucking spending $1 million on a fucking commercial.
The game has changed. The same thing with reviewers. Reviews used to be massive before, and now people look at YouTubers for real, like.
Cullen Prime, what are you disagreeing with? I don't understand that, dude. It's just facts, man. Today it's a different fucking world, man. And besides, who's watching fucking terrestrial fucking television anymore? Nobody's like watching commercials and shit anymore. No. Everybody's on fucking YouTube and fucking Netflix and Hulu.
Well, I wouldn't bemoan marketing completely though. I will say you need strong marketing.
No, I didn't. That's why I said earlier, you can do some traditional marketing, but you don't have to go overboard with it, because again, word of mouth is way more powerful.
Yeah, but the thing is, word of mouth is harder to achieve. Sometimes you can
It's not in the gaming community. Streamers have proven that, man, with games. You just mentioned a game that doesn't have any fucking traditional marketing.
Yeah, but the thing is that with word of mouth,
500,000 concurrent players.
Yeah, but
it's fucking insane.
Yeah, but natural kind of that. To capture the zeitgeist, there can be a multitude of different factors. You could have that same game released at a different time, and that word of mouth won't permeate or get the momentum like it would have a year prior or a year later. It's very sensitive to the landscape of release dates, things like that.
I get that.
So I would say...
I get that too. But also, it starts with making a fucking great game.
Obviously. That's the main thing. Making them... I mean, I'm looking at the gameplay for Slay the Spire 2, and it's not something that would catch the eye immediately of people playing. If you look at the gameplay for Slay the Spire 2, let me put it up again. Slay the Spire 2 trailer, and you tell me that this game looks like... Oh, well, I already played this trailer. I want to repeat that. A gameplay trailer. No, fuck it. Let's just do it again. Watch it again, and you tell me that what in this trailer looks like, oh, holy shit, I need to buy this game. Like something, there's so many games like this that come out. And Insider Gaming, we are doing a game showcase where we had to sit down and vet through loads of games that are going to be appearing on the showcase. And, you know, they're really like, look at this, this title. Something about this game made 500,000 concurrent players vouch for it and play it. And you know, this could be one of millions of games that are out there having a trailer. Why is this called the Zeitgeist at this moment in time? Look at it. I don't know. Look at it.
Just looking at it for me, if I just look at this trailer, I'm looking at it and I'm going, it's not for me.
So your realistic game thing, look at this this thing is killing your realistic games. It's killing Resident Evil.
I already said it's not just about the art style,
I know,
guys. It's about the game mechanics itself and the way it feels and stuff. But honestly, I don't know what this type of game is. Is it a card game?
It's card-based game.
Okay. Card games definitely aren't for me, but a lot of people do like card games, man.
It's crazy, man. Weird. Crazy. A lot of PC gamers. And one of the reasons why, I'll go back to why, is because, again, 90% of PC gamers have shit rigs, and they can run this at maximum fidelity. I'm just kidding. Fucking kidding. Bash, you actually think with a 5, because I'm not trying to challenge you both. I'm just saying that the silent majority thinks. All good games come from indie or the East. Bashi, you're just making blanket statements. All good games. You don't decide all good games.
All good games. But lately, they've been fucking pushing out bangers in the East.
Yeah, of course.
I'll agree with that.
Of course they are.
Fucking, they've been killing it.
Yeah, but not all good games. Well, Arc Raiders is
and not every game that comes from the East is fucking bangers either.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit there as well. But yeah, shout out to the East. They're smashing it. But that blanket statement doesn't hold true at all. I guess what you're trying to say is a lot of good games come from the East. And the majority, you might say.
Lately, especially.
It depends on your taste as well. Ben Riley goes, finally a game with British humor again. Yeah, with Fable, they have to evolve it as well. It can't just be too much crass of the basic kind of humor in Fable. It looks like they're really taking it up a notch. It looks really good. So the Fable has that kind of...
Yeah.
And then look, you've got Fable, then you've got Clockwork Revolution there as well, which is complete... The diversity there is amazing, Xbox. Now they just need to hit that quality mark. But I agree with you. On top of that, they need to try and get the mainstream zeitgeist. Fable might do that. Forza Horizon definitely will do that. But it's a racing game that apparently has a dampened...
the other game that you know goes along with the third-person action adventure that they do have is Gears of War. The Gears series. The Gears franchise is fucking upper echelon quality, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's every bit as good as a fucking Sony title. I wholeheartedly believe that. Gears E-Day should fucking crush.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it does.
I
think it should.
I've not been this excited for a Gears game in a very long time.
Make it exclusive. Make that fucking E-Day exclusive.
Make this fucking game exclusive with the launch of... apparently it's supposed to be a 2025 release as well.
You go.
That's crazy.
Launch it with the Helix. Yeah.
Oh, the Helix is coming next year?
No, E-Day was supposed to be out this year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's 2025. That's actually 2026. I guess last year.
Yeah, it's getting pushed back, man. It's getting pushed.
I think they should push it back.
It has to. Are you going to fucking release that around GTA?
What the fuck? It's got Fable, Forza, Wolverine, and then GTA. You're running. There's not enough months. We're in March already, man.
There's not enough.
There's not enough time. Yeah. Release it next year. I know you said it's like 25th anniversary. Phil Spencer, a lot of your statements haven't passed, and you've retired, and it doesn't matter. Release this.
Spring. Release it in spring.
And
E-Day.
Release
Here's
it.
E-Day.
Imagine the... Look, this is what I was saying. I pushed this on Twitter and everyone came at me. There's no Phil Spencer was already confirmed it's coming out this year, which is correct. But I think, imagine what a power... The next Xbox is coming out in 2026. Don't make the same mistake you made with the Series X and have no title whatsoever to showcase the power of this the console. You didn't have one first-party title. What is the best looking first party title that's going to come out from Xbox in the foreseeable future? It's going to be Gears E-Day. So release this with the next gen console and have the balls. It'll be the tech showcase for your next console if its specs are supposed to be as good as they are. Common sense. Delay it. Release it next year. And show us what this next Xbox can do. That's the common sense.
The guy in the chat said they never said it was supposed to be released. Yes, they did. They said 2026.
Yeah, Phil Spencer did say the next Gears of War.
Absolutely, it was 2026.
Yeah, they did.
And
So-
if you look it up, it does say it was scheduled. It's scheduled for release in 2026 on the XS and PC. Specific day has not been confirmed. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I'm telling you, AI. Look, you can ask AI anything these days, and you'll get. That's where you can find the numbers of how many people actually play games on Xbox, on Game Pass. It'll break it all down for you and show you what percentage are beating the games and everything, because all of your information is online.
Yeah.
So it just gets all the information and gives it right to you as soon as you ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Boba, I don't know if they should release it this fall, if it does come this fall.
I'll do a poll. Yeah.
How? Like, where are you going to put it? Like, then, I don't know. You got Fable. You can't put Fable out and then immediately put fucking E-Day. You're going to kill one of the two. Most likely Fable if you did that.
Yeah. I've done a poll. I've called it the Xbox Helix because I've got the name for it. So should Gears E-Day be delayed to release with the next Xbox? I want to do a poll and see what people say. So yeah, let's see what happens. Gears E-Day is a beast. So did DJ Marshman go lol Gears?
I'm not sure. Has Xbox had an issue with releases, like putting out games at awkward times? And
yes, Xbox never fucking releases games in the first half of years now. They always wait until the final, and that's been one of the biggest criticisms.
They just stack them,
right on the holiday season. Same problem. And I understand, like, your poll is skewed because you're going to have Xbox guys going, just release it because they got it in Game Pass. And you're like, just give me all the games. I'll have a backlog. No, it doesn't behoove the company if they stack games that way. You need to stagger them properly so you can maximize your fucking profit from these games. Yeah.
Again, another reason why Game Pass sucks.
Why? What's Game Pass got to do with that?
Because it just creates these people that just want the games anytime. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Just give me the games. Just send them my way.
Communism.
It does. Are you going to argue that? It's the truth. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care if they're staggered or not. They'll take games fucking every month. But it doesn't help the company themselves. You cannot maximize your profits doing that.
Yeah.
You're just shutting the other game off. Every time you're cutting off your fucking money flow for sure. You're not going to sell games that way if you're just throwing them into Game Pass every fucking month. People are going to be like, what the fuck are you doing?
I think they need to
outside of Game Pass.
Wait, Shield. What? Boba Fett? You deleted it. At the moment, 56% of you say Gears E-Day should be delayed to release with the next Xbox. I'm going to end it there. That's a good answer, and I agree with you. Well, we'll see what happens with Gears E-Day. It's going to be an interesting situation there. I feel like there's two stacked. You need a tech showcase. You have no games that we know of, unless you have some surprise unannounced games that need to be out. This year, you're doing enough already, no? You've got freaking Forza and you've got Fable. That's a pretty big deal. And 2026, and it's the year of GTA. I'm sorry. GTA is such a big force that the 2 months before it and the 2 to 3 months after it are almost locked off. It's like you can't release around that. It's fucked. That's how much of a force.
Wolverine picked the best time to come out.
Yeah.
Wolverine really did.
Yeah, Wolverine picked a really good time to come out. Good time to come out, and it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell like mad. That game's gonna be made. Even if that's one of those games. Actually, funnily enough, if it was released on PC day and date, it would have probably sold really well on PC as well. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Gearsy Day in August. There you go. Fuck the fall.
What about Fable then?
Beginning of October. I don't know, bro. It's fucked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fucked.
But it doesn't matter. Just delay Gears to be released with the next console.
And yeah, I've talked to Hargeet about this even on our podcast, and Hargeet agrees. Delay some games if you have to. It's not a big deal. Like, if you have these games and you want to freaking make them successful, then delay one.
Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. What else happened in this space? I think we've covered everything, man. Fucking hell, bro. We've had
this guy
beast show. 3.5
long
hours.
ass podcast.
I'm so sorry, man, but this is what happens. We have a good chat.
No. Don't. I had the time today, bro. Like my family's gone, so it was good. It's perfect.
Oh, wicked, man.
He says, people are like, Game Pass must have really hurt Fonz. It did. I spent so much money over the years and didn't fucking play dick all because most of the games were just not my thing.
Fuck.
I played a few here and there, but it wasn't enough to cover what I spent for the year. Oh no.
Fuck it. We'll see what happens, but I'm guaranteeing you, chat, Game Pass has not been in the lips and the mouths of any of the execs in a while, which signals to me that they're going to pare back that support. That day and date is going to go. And according to the poll, which over 5,000 people voted, and according to the poll on this chat, where 64%, I believe, of you said you would sacrifice Game Pass to bring Xbox exclusives back, console exclusives back anyway.
CPT, he says, sounds like a Fonz problem. It's a Game Pass problem. Just go into AI, type in, just ask them how many people stopped playing Avowed in Xbox Game Pass. How many people stopped playing any Xbox game, Indiana Jones, any of it. You'll be shocked.
Yeah,
you'll be shocked.
I'll update.
And how fast they stop playing these games.
Yeah,
you'll be shocked.
Yeah. We'll see, man. I will say this. Being very pessimistic and cautiously pessimistic, I feel like just my observation of where the Xbox business is at, I feel like there's going to be some hard calls and for quality calls. Finally, getting some kind of accountability. If not, I just don't see how. I don't even see how that's even possible at this stage.
Zocker said it. He said Phil Spencer's Game Pass, so they had to let him go.
Game Pass is so.
It was his baby, right? Phil Spencer, the Netflix of gaming. It was all from Phil.
And now that he retires,
who knows?
Maybe Game Pass will retire too. We'll see what happens. But the polls have said it. Like, at the cost of Game Pass, you would sacrifice that for exclusives. And the reality is that's the truth. And when that happened, and this is I'll say if that happens, in this alternate universe where Xbox finally brings back console exclusives and has games like Gears and Fable and Forza and Elder Scrolls, to more crucially, all on the console exclusively and not on PlayStation, you will see a revitalizing of the energy in the space, and it will be competition galore, because PlayStation will have an answer for a Western RPG the scale of Elder Scrolls. What are they going to do? They would probably quadruple, triple down on the money they would offer someone like Crimson Desert to try and combat that. What will they do with the Forza Horizon? They've already greenlit. There's GTA, the next GTA Gran Turismo game has been greenlit already. But what about the arcade space? Are they going to have an answer to that? Well, they couldn't do it with Drive Club. Well, they could just sit back and just watch Forza roll it through. These are the questions they would have to have answers for. You don't expect the competition to sit back and go, all right. PlayStation would not be coasting. PlayStation would finally have the fire lit under their asses, and any PlayStation fan, true PlayStation fan, PlayStation fanboy or whatever, or not, you would want Xbox to bring back exclusivities, not just for the console war bullshit, but to see PlayStation get out of their comfort zone. It's the same mentality I've had with Xbox to fucking fight this thing so it can rise the tides of all boats. But they have failed to do that up until now. So let's see what happens. But it's interesting times. In a couple of days, we're going to see GDC. I'll be there, and I'll be talking to good old Jason Ronald, stroking his beard. And I'll be like, right, mate, sort it out. Tell me what this little machine's going to do. I'll try to get as much coverage as possible. I'm doing a lot of interviews for developers as well for the Insider Gaming Showcase event. So a lot of things going down there. And that showcase event is for indie titles that haven't had publisher backing yet. So it's a really good kind of, it's a really fun project and really interesting to see. And also really good helping indie developers have their moment to shine. So there's going to be that. I'll be in California tomorrow, and we'll make some memes. I haven't even packed up yet, which is great because I need to get ready in about 5 hours. It'll be great. Before I go, it's interesting times, and Fonz, you joined absolutely at a great time where we are at this crossroads with Xbox. Tell the people, Fonz, where they can find you if you're not so much an Xbox hater. You can find me
on Fonz Gaming. Xbox haters extraordinaire. No, I'm just kidding. Find me at Fonz Gaming. And of course, I do the podcast every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And it's me and Hargeet. We talk about all of gaming. And this last episode was pretty fun because we got to argue a bit about Xbox. He had some good points. I had some good points. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Every time I see Hoggy on your show now, I just see him just visibly get uncomfortable anytime you say anything positive about PlayStation. He looks like he's constipated every time you talk about PlayStation. Poor Hoggy, since Game On Daily kind of crumbled away, he's been hanging around with some weird lot, and they have, bless his soul, influenced him into the dark side. But that's why your show works so well, because he is so staunchly anti-PlayStation, and then you're very known bullshit, quite cutthroat with your assessment of a lot of things, especially Xbox. It's a very interesting dynamic.
Well, it's only because, Xbox is, again, PlayStation's not doing everything right, man. They're not 100% great over there. They've got a lot of shit to fucking get over, like these live service games that have all just been canceled. And who knows what studio they're going to cancel next. I mean, probably Nixus, since they're not making any more PC ports. And I've not been totally happy with their games this generation. There's been several duds for me. And anyways, I don't want to go into the weeds again, but so there is issues there.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. E-Rank says, great stream. I had fun despite disagreeing with a lot of it. Lol. E-Ranks, we may not agree with everything, but it's the chat that counts. Legit chat and our legit views on things, not being bought out or being coasted or being accosted by a community, not driven by trying to get numbers up and to say a narrative. We're at least speaking our minds.
I like how DJB said that Hargeet cooked me the last episode.
Hey, man.
It's not what the comments say, but okay. You do you.
Bless him. Bless Hargeet. Shout out to him as well. Really nice guy. Yes. So we'll find out. Yeah, Hargeet's a G. Mad love, everyone. Smash the like button. We need to have at least 100 likes. I don't even know how many likes we're at. But at least 100. And we're making memes. Oh, we already at 101. Perfect.
Epic. Fuck.
What did Epic
May
say?
the TSA keep their hands to themselves.
Epic, I'm hoping for the same. I'm always hoping for the same.
They're going to no, he's hoping for more. He wants them to grope his nether regions.
They'll be like, oh, you came here last year. Well, good news for you. It'll be a little less painful this time around. But yeah. All right, peeps. Mad love. Smash the like button. It helps a lot. I will do the timestamp soon. And I will see you in California. And then next week. Peace.
Uh-oh.